I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm gonna kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be alright, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed those fucking men.
What are you going to do about it, asshole?
Don't be afraid. Just an asshole.
What are you going to do about it, asshole? What are you going to do about it, asshole?
Alright. Welcome everybody to the Boxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live. That's right, live from the true north. Hey, this is your friend Mr. BDA. Glad everybody could be on board for this one. Let me tell you something, we've got a good fight tomorrow. Hardcore boxing fans are very interested in what's going to happen. The weigh-in had a couple of hijinks ensuing, so that's always a good thing for us boxing fans. But before we get to this open platform Friday, you know how it works. Anything Goes Fridays means all lines of communications are open, from the phone lines to the StreamYard to the Discord. I will be activating all of those within a couple of minutes. Before we get down to the fun, however, you know the drill. If you want to donate a couple of shekels via the Super Chat feature, you can do so via the Super Chat feature. Or you can go to the PayPal page or to the Patreon page. But the most important thing, of course, is that you continue to like the show. Like. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And just generally spread the BDA gospel. Remember, the BDA gospel is not a whore. It will not spread itself. You need somebody to go in there and spread it. All right? So that's you, fellas. That's on you. Other than that, I think we're all good. Shout out to Virtuoso, who just donated the Super Chat. Speaking of the Super Chat, it says, BDA Boxing Live Streams is a therapy chair for disgruntled boxing fans. Well, thank you, Virtuoso. Really appreciate it. Glad you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Like I said, I will be opening up the StreamYard, the Discord, and the phone lines. If you're already on the Discord, just jump on the Discord. It's easier. And we'll reserve the StreamYard for people that don't know or who aren't part of the Discord. Shout out to Marcy D, Jonathan Lambarena. I thought it was Labamba. Lipsy Hustle, Iceman. Shout out to Iceman, Connor K, Capri, Neil Simpson, Mr. Straight 50, Friendly Fire, Ed Dantas, TLJ, Jim McDonald, Dennis Nderito TV with that kick-ass logo of his, Smoking Joe, Redman, and many more people to come. I'm sure, guys. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if you've just heard, but somebody, Neil Simpson in the chat room, just posted the news that Eddie Hearn, as always, keeps on making announcements by himself, so take it with a grain of salt. But according to him, and according to what I'm seeing here on Sky Sports rather, Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have approved an offer for undisputed world title fight this summer, says promoter Eddie Hearn. And according to Neil Simpson, that means it will be taking place in Saudi Arabia. This news comes today, April the 16th, so it seems like it's getting a little bit closer. They like teasing us. That's what they're doing. They're dropping. It's a slow drip, little by little. Now, listen, before I open up the lines of communication here, don't forget, some of the subjects that we can talk about is, I'm a little tired of talking about Joshua Fury, but I mean, it's up to you fellas if you want to talk about that. We got the Andrade versus Liam Williams fight. Yes, Andrade versus Williams fight that will be taking place tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting one. Like I said, hijinks ensued. Teofimo Lopez and Kombucha got into it a little bit in their press conference today. Again, very Jerry Springer-esque. And on top of whatever else you want to talk about. So keep that in mind. Now, let me open up the phone lines here. I see Bucho's in the house. Let me hold on a second. What's he saying? Lower voice. I mean, what the fuck? Come on. No. Hey, by the way, okay, I'm going to start inviting a couple of people here. Who do I start with? Well, let me see if Bucho's in. Because I thought he was going to be MIA for a bit. Then, I know Boxing Chief said he wanted in. Gonzalo, Jimmy, as always. Stu, I don't know if... usually on Friday, Stu's out on the town partying. Gallivanting, as it were. So we're going to do that. Now I'm going to open up the phone line. So you guys are in the chat room. Let me know what you want to talk about. Or once you step in, you can certainly always do it there. Other than that, we'll see what happens here. Let me manage my extensions here. I'm setting up the phone calls. Oh, yeah, fuck, that's right. Why am I fucking calling people? Hey, Jay, get off this line. We're going to meet up at the main BDA group in the other Discord. All right.
Your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
All right, I'm in the main Discord there. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm not there now. Fuck, what the fuck?
To start your show now, press 1.
All right, hold on a second. Give me a couple.
Press 2.
There we go. I cannot do this beforehand, otherwise it all
Your
goes
show
to
will
shit.
go live in 5 seconds.
All
4,
right, 5 seconds, fellas.
3,
2,
1.
There we go. All right, phone lines are open. Let me just put up the phone lines there. You know the number. Left-hand middle portion of your screen. So you've got that there. What else? All right, phone lines are open, like I said, people. Don't be afraid. Everybody's welcome. Now, for some reason... shit, hold on a second. I gotta do something else. Recognize the Matrix coming in here. Jeez Louise, what the fuck? All right, he says, is it me or did somebody tell Cambosa to wear high heels to make him look more of a threat? Salute, BD. I don't know, I'd have to rewatch it. I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to make sure that he wasn't wearing high heels. If he's wearing high heels, that's only going to make me a bigger fan of his. No, I'm kidding.
Your show now, press 1. To hear important...
All right.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Good for you. All right. I think we're back here. So I'm just going to wait for people to call in. Now I'm going to go into the main... Oh, by the way, hold on. Let me put up now the StreamYard here. So if anybody wants to jump on StreamYard, if you're not part... But shout out to Recognize the Matrix, by the way, for your contribution, man. And by the way, the regular BDA panelists, if you want to jump in the show, jump on the whatchamacallit, the main BDA group on Discord. The speaker there that's on your right-hand screen. Left hand. I'm sounding a bit like a crazy fella here. And now I'm going to activate the Discord here. Make sure everyone's there. Yo, fellas, are you there? Am I muted? Is anybody there?
Nope.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yep. No, you're not muted.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for being on, fellas. We got Cloudy with a chance of... Shit, your name's too long. I can't see the rest.
Cloudy with a chance of boxing.
Chance of boxing, right? We got King Buchu as well, and Deritu with that kick-ass logo. So thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. Well, Claudio, let's start with you, man. What do you want to talk about?
Well, obviously, tomorrow. I mean, the two biggest elephants in the room. Obviously, Andre versus Williams, and the so-called big event, Jake Paul, Ben Askren. Let's just get that out of the way first. We'll try to be as quick as we can with that because I don't want to spend too much time on that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to do that, man. I mean, it's... Well, what are your thoughts on it?
What?
Also, sorry, I forgot to say, also we can talk about the PBC schedule. That's the big story coming in here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, shit. Yeah, fuck Jake Paul. Let's talk about that.
By the way, hold on. Real quick, Boxing Chief, Jay, if you're listening, go to the main Discord page where everybody's there, or you can see everybody, all the messages, and just go to your left, and you should find the group there. Because he's asking me what the links. Sorry. Go ahead, Claudia. What? The PBC, what'd you say? PBC?
No, I just said that I forgot about it. But, yeah, what are your thoughts on that whole thing?
All right, let me put it up here on the screen. So if you guys look on the screen on YouTube, you should be able to see it. Hold on a second.
I got it pulled up in the Discord chat.
Yeah, for some reason it's not letting me show it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show it in another fashion here. Here it is. All right, so some of these fights, fellas, are good, but there's three that we have an issue with. I think you're going to agree with me. The first one that we should have an issue with is Jermall Charlo versus Juan Montiel. I mean, this is the best they could find for Charlo. At least put him in there with a quality 154-pounder. At least, even if it's not a middleweight, a quality 154, or at least put him in there with a super middleweight at a catchweight. No, they have to go with Juan Montiel, whose biggest win is against a completely shot James Kirkland. I mean, is this a joke or is this a joke?
This is probably, this I'd say is the biggest joke on the list already. I mean, and that's kind of the thing that people are criticizing about Jermall Charlo, is that he fights tomato cans. He fights nobodies. Which, I mean, I don't know how... who did he fight to get the championship? Was that James Kirkland, or was that somebody else?
No. Charlo, I don't even know where he got his title from. All I know is, because I don't follow the title thing, all I know is his biggest win so far is against Derevyanchenko, a guy who's already been beaten by Golovkin and by Jacobs. So it's a good win. He performed very well. But for him to go from that to suddenly fight a guy that on paper has next to no chance of beating him is quite disgusting. I mean, this is the guy they're telling us is Golovkin and Canelo are avoiding? I mean, are you serious? All right, but, you know, it is what it is with Charlo. We've come to expect this type of things from the PBC. The Davis versus Barrios.
Yeah, and this fight's on June the 19th, the Charlo fight.
Mm-hmm.
Is my volume okay?
No, it's very loud.
Yeah.
All right. Low?
Loud. It's loud.
Shit, what do I do?
Just lower. Okay, let me lower it. Let me lower it.
Yeah,
okay.
I can't lower my volume with it. See this thing, all this FL Studio shit.
That's okay. That's okay. You're good now.
Yeah, better.
Yeah.
Anyways, June the 19th. That's probably gonna be the only time he fights this year. I can guarantee. Well, I can't guarantee that, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's how it works with Charlo and the PBC. So this is the only time you're gonna see Charlo this year against this guy. I mean, his career is going to shit, to be honest.
Oh, the language on you.
Seriously, like, what's the plan with Jermall Charlo? Seriously, and why
I really don't
his
know,
fans going apeshit?
No. Please don't tell me any Charlo fans are saying that this is an actual good fight.
No. In the sense of being pissed off.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they claim Jermall is a great boxer, and he does have skills, but come on, we're not gonna see his skills against Montiel.
Well, I mean, you're going to see a butchering. That's what you're going to see. I mean, here's the thing,
What's the point?
One thing that I'm finding out with people like Charlo and Andrade is that the excuse for these guys seems to be when you say, well, how come they haven't fought anybody? Oh, well, because nobody wants to fight them. So it becomes a circular argument. You know what I mean? It's like, how come they have no good fighters there? Because nobody wants to fight them. So how do you know they're good? Because nobody wants to fight them. All right, so we're going into that little circle jerk there. The fact is, look, Jermall Charlo is a very good fighter. Maybe I'm wrong, fellas. I think he's a very good fighter. I think he has a good chance of beating Canelo. I wouldn't pick him to beat Canelo, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. I mean, he's at his peak right now. And for him to be wasting his time against fucking what's this guy's name here? Hold on, Montiel. Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. You can't defend that.
Oh
fight.
yeah, it's the fucking most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, you can't defend that fight.
What was that?
You cannot defend that fight. Nobody.
No,
can.
I can't.
Right.
It's impossible. And anybody who tries to defend it, like, you know, sure, make your case, but personally, I think you're wrong.
Well, I mean, you can be. There's no. I mean, you can't defend. If you show me legitimate proof that they sent offers to Canelo and Triple G or some other guys, and that they refused those offers, then I would understand. But this is all we've got to work with here. That this is the guy he's taking on after taking on Derevchenko. And by the way, how long did it take for him to take on Derevchenko? You know, he fought guys like Austin Trout and Julian Williams, and it took him years to take on a guy like Derevchenko. And all of a sudden, once he beat Derevchenko, it was like, yeah, we told you he was good. Okay, you beat Derevchenko. That's very good, but it's not. You can't tell me based on that you're absolutely 100% sure he beats Triple G and Canelo, and he's not. He's not fighting any of those guys now. He's fighting somebody worse than Derevchenko. I mean, listen, I don't want to harp on that too much. By the way, we got. All right, Claudio, please mute your mic, man. Mute your mic if you're not gonna talk, because we hear the background noise there. Shout out to Casual M in the chat who donated the super chat. He says Stu admitted being a nonce. I think he means a nonce. Nonce. I don't know when he did that. There. Casual M, but shout out to you and your contribution. We got Jay and we got Senpai25 joining us, fellas. Thank you for being on. What's on your minds?
Hey, evening, guys, and thanks for having me on as always. Sounds like Charlo's the conversation.
Well, we're talking about the whatchamacallit, the PBC schedule that they announced, and Dorito was kind enough to post it there on the Discord, so that's what we're taking a look at here.
My favorite company.
I mean, it's a good schedule. I think I should have prefaced that.
No, I'm not arguing that. That I actually am proud of what they've done. When I very rarely say overly positive things about PBC because I like to protect their fighters. But the minimum you have to say about this in a positive manner, if you don't like them as much as I usually am accused of not liking them, everyone's getting busy. I know that you guys were jumping all over Charlo for this fight. I'm not gonna take a stance against that. But they're keeping the year starting off. It started off slow. We're in April now. Everyone's scheduled for the first half of the year now, and everyone's got something going. Why this week of a touch for Charlo? Don't know. Maybe everybody else is busy and they don't want to rematch with. And maybe they can't iron everything out with Golden Boy for Munguia right now. But bottom line is everybody's getting in the ring.
That's right, and he's not. I mean, it's bizarre, if you ask me. Real quick, we got, I don't know what the fuck that is. Springfield Zero is on the StreamYard here. Springfield, are you there? Can you hear me?
Calling from Springfield.
Okay. What's on your mind, Springfield?
We can't hear the guy.
Really worship my cock.
You want us to worship your cock? For what?
I want a good cocksucker that sucks to come right out of the cock.
All right, but hold on. Hold on. If you want us to worship your cock, you got to show it. You can't be a tease. Show the cock. Let's go. Yeah, but put your cock. Oh, it's a recording, by the way. The guy couldn't even call in. All right. Well, listen. Thank you for your call.
Boring, man.
Thank you for your call, Springfield, and I suppose we'll cut you. I mean, that was the worst call in the world.
That sucks to come right out of the cock.
Yeah, that was the worst. That's the worst call in the world, man, because you should be able to show us your cock if you want us to worship it. So, shit. Anyway,
can back it up, man.
Yeah, can back it up. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Anyway, we got here people saying what Dubois. Oh yeah, Dubois is getting a title shot, by the way. Can you believe that after getting, what? I mean, it's an interim shot, whatever that means. But I mean,
yeah, the WBA.
Yeah,
getting is through the WBA, right?
Yeah,
getting his shot.
It's always the WBA belt.
Now, supposedly Joey Joyce is gonna get himself. I said Joe, not Joey. Joe Joyce, he's gonna get himself a shot at Usyk, right? Supposedly.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what the fight's about. Wait, no, because the WBO champion is Joshua. An interim WBO fight.
So they may be, but let's double back for a second on Dubois. I just looked at the rankings of Fight News. He's number 10. How the hell is he getting a shot at anything? Anything, period. He's number 10 and only in the WBA. How the hell is he getting a shot? First of all, he's been exposed as a temporary fraud unless he fixes a few things and decides he wants to have some heart. But in the meantime, he's lost his last fight and ranked number 10 and getting a title shot. How in the hell is this possible?
That's why when people go, oh, but when they talk about the sanctioning bodies and when they talk about undisputed, like that people want to see undisputed. What does undisputed have to do if the belts suck? The belts don't mean anything because you got guys like Dubois who just lost a fight and he quit essentially. And I'm not saying he shouldn't have quit, but what I'm saying is he was made to quit. And he's getting a title shot. Please do not bring up titles to me anymore. Please don't bring up undisputed. Like for example, the Ramirez versus Taylor fight if they strip all those guys of all their belts and they still fight each other, I don't care if they don't have a belt or if they have one or if they have
they have lost value.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. Anyway, you're right, which I shouldn't be ranting about this. We all know they're trash, those belts. But yeah, go ahead, Chief. You were saying, Jay?
I was just ranting about that. I mean, as far as belts go, I fully understand what you're saying, but there needs to be something for some fighters to put themselves into the mix. And unless we can come up with a better system, unfortunately, we have the belts. Now, certain belts, obviously, is it the super or is it the gold? Is it the diamond or is it the, I don't know, the regular? Devontae Davis seems to be the king of because he's about to fight for another regular belt at 140 coming up. So he's got a regular at lightweight. He's got a regular at 130. He's going to have a regular at 140 if he wins this one. And he's not going to have a super or a diamond anything. So he's the king of the regular belts. Anyway, point being, though, it's something for these people to try and for the fighters to differentiate themselves so people can recognize who they are. Oh, he has a belt. We may not care what the belt is anymore, but when they go in there with that thing right to buzz their head, okay, he's accomplished something. This is someone we might need to watch. And like I said, it's a flawed system, but it's the only system we have right now. So until we come to something better, the belts have a validity to a point for the guys to separate themselves.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, it's a flawed system, but there is a certain advantage for fighters. We've talked about that before. The low-level guys or the B-level guys, I should say, that aren't A-listers, they're not superstars. Like a guy like Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez, Anthony Joshua, they could do big numbers and hold an audience without a belt. But these other guys, they need belts so that when people go there and they go, whoa, he's got a belt, he's a champ. Even though he's not really a champ, the casual fan doesn't know that. And to a certain extent, the casual fan does drive the business. So, yeah, those belts, man, we can't, we can hate them all we want, but we can't completely discount them. As it pertains to the PBC schedule, by the way, fellas, don't forget to call in. Oh, we got a phone call here. Let's go to it right away. 509, you're on the air. 509, what's on your mind?
Yo, can you guys hear me good?
Yes, we can hear you fantastic. What's on your mind?
Yeah, dude, this schedule is trash. Straight fucking dog shit.
Now, why? What don't you like about it?
The pay-per-view. Do you think that's even a pay-per-view fight?
No, okay, but let's look at it. Like, yeah, I agree with that. I agree. That it shouldn't be. Even the undercard doesn't merit the pay-per-view. But let's look at the cards themselves, real quick. Okay, so we got Neri versus Figueroa, Donaire versus Subali. Actually, I'm just gonna name you the ones I have a problem with: Charlo versus Montiel, Gervonta Davis versus Barrios, which is pay-per-view, shouldn't be, and Benavides versus Uzcategui. Other than that, what's the problem there, caller?
They're just they're lame and they're not doing cross promotion. They're just sticking to their PBC world, kind of basically the usual. That just means the other fights, they're going to stick, the zone people are going to stick to their, and Top Rank going to stick with their fighters. Like, man, it's trash. And look, and not just that, not just the quality. Like, the quality, that's all right. Like you said, the rest of the fights are not bad, but they have them spread out to, like, going to September. They just missed these whole first six months of the year.
Fellas, what do you think? Do you agree with the caller? Are these cards trash, or are they good enough for the PBC?
Well, part of it, he's saying they missed the first 6 months of the year. What's the first fight?
Oh yeah, there's other fights that they didn't. Yeah, there's other fights that they didn't include. Like, there's a fight Saturday. I think it's Tony Harrison versus Pereira. Is that the one? So it's not on this list because, yeah.
No, that's a typical TV. That's a typical TV fight. And Tony Harrison is a Showtime fighter. He's not a championship fighter at the moment because he's not a champion, but he could be a main event on regular TV. He doesn't deserve to be on a pay-per-view unless it's far on the undercard at the moment until he earns it. But he said they missed half the year. We're in what? We're still in April. We're only 4 months in. I don't know what date the first fight is what I was asking.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you meant because there's 3 other cards.
May 15th, the 15th of May.
15th of May, that's right.
Okay, so the caller's got a slight point that it's almost half the year, and this is what they're putting together. The way I will only continue to back to his statement at the moment if at the end of the year, in the last 3 months of the year, none of these guys fight again, then he has 100% point.
Well, that's a good point because if you look at the dates, the time between cards, you got May 15th, then you got May 29th, so that's 2 weeks. Then you got almost a month in between the May 29th card and the June 19th card, which is Charlo Montiel. And July the 3rd. So then after that, you get like a steady diet throughout July. 2 cards in July. And then from July 17th, there's nothing until August the 14th. So I'm starting to agree with the caller there in the sense, not that the fights themselves are trash, but that the schedule itself it's a little, it's spread thin a little bit.
Hey, if you guys don't have Showtime, do you think this will make someone get Showtime? If you're like a boxing fan, you would get Showtime for this?
Great point.
Good question. Yeah, good question.
Great point. Absolutely.
Excellent point. My answer is
not
no.
me. I'm not a Showtime. I'm still going to steal these fights.
Oh, bro.
The caller's admitting he's going to steal.
I would rather subscribe to the Zone boxing. The Zone is the best for me.
Well, there you have it. Well, that's probably because you watch soccer on it too, right?
Yep.
Oh, there you go. I had a feeling. No, but it's true. I mean,
hey, but guys,
yeah.
You guys notice the fighters that are not on the list? We got Porter, Spence, and Wilder not on this list. So they're going to be fighting on Fox pay-per-view.
Yeah. Pay-per-view, probably pay-per-view. I mean, the rumor out there is that Spence Ugas is going to be pay-per-view. And by the way, don't forget you got.
That's why they didn't want to show it on the list because it's going to look like shit. It's going to look like over here. If you look at the picture, Gervonta Davis versus Barrios is like on a red background to indicate that it's a pay-per-view. So they didn't want to add any more pay-per-views.
Well,
already, if you look at the Jamal Charlo, yes.
I think it's because that, to be clear, I think the Spence fight would be Fox pay-per-view. That's why they didn't show it in this one because it's all just Showtime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. This is only a Showtime thing. But anyways, you look at Charlo Montiel. I mean, that fight could have been in the undercard of Charlo versus Castaño. You know what I mean? Why do we have to like? Yeah, they have June 19th and then July 17th. A month later, you have the other Charlo fighting. That could have been on the same card.
Why did you say?
Remember, all cards are subject to change.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, all cards are subject. Hey, Bucho, why did you say July? You said July. What's that about?
July.
So, caller. So, from what you're telling us, you will not be ordering, or you will not be getting pay-per-view Showtime based on these fights.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Correct.
you have it.
I will be watching some of these fights, but I will not be paying for nothing.
All right. Well, there you. I don't know. Now that Bucho mentioned July, and you're saying you're not gonna pay for Showtime, sounds like somebody's being a bit July-ish to me here, man.
Yes, guilty as charged.
All right. Well, listen, but you brought up a good point. Yeah. you brought up a good point about will this make anybody buy Showtime? Let's go through the list here. Jay, I'm assuming you have Showtime, and the D2, you don't want to get Showtime. I think you're happy with the Zone. Senpai, do you have Senpai? Do you have Showtime?
No, just the Zone and the ESPN Plus. That's all I have.
So these fights, they're not whetting your appetite to get Showtime?
No, not really.
Oh.
Well, I mean, there's some good fights, but overall, as a whole, like, yeah, I mean, not really.
I get you.
At the competitive fights, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so spread out too, like the caller said. That it's not like you're paying for just like 1 month of Showtime. You're paying for all the way through August, May through August.
Yeah, good point. Look at this. In June, which fights do you get in June? You get Charlo, Montiel, Davis, Barrios. Oh no, wait, Davis against Barrios. That's pay per view. So basically, for the whole month of June, you get Charlo versus Montiel. That's it. Wow.
Hey, I got a
play the Davis
I got a
fight,
conspiracy. If you guys want to hear it.
Conspiracy. Ooh, that sounds juicy. Go ahead, give it to us.
That sounds like a
Now,
Renaissance.
this isn't the gay frogs or anything like that. Do you think Al Heyman is saving Charlo and Benavidez for Canelo when Canelo kind of contract is over with the Zone? That's why he matched up David Benavidez and 160 Charlo kind of light, so he can maybe offer that to Canelo for the next year.
I didn't follow that. So you're saying that he's going to sacrifice Charlo and to one of the Charlos to Canelo because they have the black blood? Is that what you're saying?
No, what the hell?
That's what I heard.
I said he matched up David Benavidez in 160 Charlo. He matched them kind of light, so he can offer them for the next year to Canelo to like come over here to PBC.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes maybe. What do you guys think? Do you think it's possible that he has to have a Canelo in his sights for one of the Charlos, right?
I think that's a very, very realistic conspiracy. But I think I think Canelo believes, and as people are telling him, he's bigger than doing deals with anyone. So he's not going to sign with PBC. He thinks he's bigger than PBC and any one promoter. So he can do business with them, but he ain't signing with them.
Right, he doesn't have to sign though.
Canelo doesn't have to like sign with the PBC. The PBC guys have to come to Canelo.
That's right. They have to cross the street.
Well, if they offer him enough money, with the Zone, like with the Master, he just signed basically a little 2-fight deal. Like he can do that with PBC, and Heyman will be gambling that that one of his guys can beat him in a little 2-fight deal with Charlo and David Benavidez or Plant.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen. I guess we'll have to see. First of all, Charlo has to beat Montiel, which I suspect he will. I mean, come on. But the other Charlo. But by the way, caller, before we let you go, because we have to move on. Out of all the fights, which one is your favorite when it comes to this schedule? I mean, is there one that you go, okay, that one's pretty good. I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh, by far the 154 Charlo versus what's that guy's name? The Castaño.
Yeah. That's good.
And I'm looking for the weigh-in for the Figueroa weigh-in. Maybe check that out.
Because he said because of the Figueroa sister. Yeah, me too. Man, so am I.
Yeah, her too.
I'm going to be showing off with binoculars for that one, man. But anyway, listen, 519, thank you for calling in. Right. We'll catch you on the next one, all right, man? Good call. Call back next time. Thank you. All right. Yeah. I'm showing up for all the press conferences for Figueroa, man. If his sister's there, I'm not even going to watch the fights. I'm just going to show up at the press conference, binoculars, and I'm going to steal the chair on which he sits on so I can sniff it all night long. By the way, we got Recognize and Richiroso joining us on the Discord. Don't forget, fellas, if you're part of the Discord, jump in on the Discord. It's a Discord party. You can also jump via the StreamYard or call in via the phone number that's there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. We got Ragnarok 2 on the StreamYard, so right now it is a party. We'll have to be careful not to step over each other, but I Recognize. How about this schedule for you? Is there any? I mean, I know you got all the channels. I think you get like 500 channels from all across the world. You're always watching Arab. You're always watching Arab soap operas. I believe you told us one time. So, are you going to be looking forward to this show? Yeah. Are you going to be looking forward to these Showtime cards?
I kind of like the Showtime cards, except like maybe a few fights, like the Charlo, Montiel, Benavidez, Usategui, and obviously the pay-per-view, the only pay-per-view, which is Barrios and Tank Davis, which is stupid. If there was going to be anyone that was going to be pay-per-view, should have been Castaño and Charlo.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah, in terms of quality, yeah.
And these guys are gonna charge like $79.99 for that pay-per-view. Who's gonna pay for that, bro?
Yeah. I'm not gonna pay for that.
The taxpayers when they go for their federal loan.
That taxpayers. But you gotta remember, that's one pay-per-view, but that's a Showtime pay-per-view. Fox Sports is probably gonna have two others because you got Ariola, that's pay-per-view versus Luis. And Spence Ugas will probably be Fox Sports pay-per-view as well. So it's from the PBC, it's 3 pay-per-views total so far. But they're trying to say that it's just one officially it's just one Showtime pay-per-view, but technically PBC, 3 pay-per-views.
BDA.
Yes.
I actually read something on Boxing 24, and I don't know if it's still there, that originally I thought that one of the Charlos, I think it was the 154 Charlo with the WBO fighter, you guys just said his name clearly, and I was going to stutter over it. So, but anyway, I thought that was originally supposed to be a co-main event pay-per-view. I read it somewhere. They must have changed that since that article.
Yeah, I think that was a rumor. The rumor that I'd heard was that one of the Charlos was going to fight alongside Spence in Texas, but now it seems like maybe they couldn't figure. Maybe would you guys be surprised if one of the Charlos said, "You know what? I ain't no co-main event, bro. I ain't no co-main event." Do you think that's possible that their ego is that high?
Yeah, I think Spence probably said that too, because the way I read it was the last fight that was going to be shown on that card was going to be Charlo, not Spence. So I can see it happening all 3 ways.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, man.
They might as well set it up if they're gonna do like. If they want to make that extra money, they're gonna have to like be co-features, on the card. The Charlo pay-per-view that sold less than 200,000. Like, and Spence, barely cracked what 300K. Like, nah. It's just like, guys, they're basically just doing like a stick and carrot with pay-per-views. They put in the horse in front of like the cart in front of the horse. With pay-per-views, that they're not building up these fights. Like Mario Barrios, who is he? I don't know who he is. Out of all the people that gets a pay-per-view, it's Tank Davis, of course. It's crazy.
They're gonna hype up Barrios as a killer. Watch.
Yeah.
Well, these guys just keep everything in house. Like the Jamal Charlo versus Juan Montiel. I don't see that fight, man. I don't understand this.
Let me tell you something, man. That Barrios fight is very dangerous, man. It's very dangerous for Tank Davis. People are saying that Barrios didn't look. Go ahead, Richard. What?
It's gonna be Canelo versus Fielding 2.0.
You think so? You guys think Davis runs through Barrios?
Well, Floyd doesn't take risks in anything. So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You have mic issues, man. Drop out and come back in.
Who's having mic issues?
So
whoever's trying to talking. Go ahead. Jesus Christ, I forgot.
It's okay. Thank you, Pedro.
Jay, yeah, go ahead.
You had to hear my voice first, huh? Police, nigga. I even forgot what I was saying now, but we're talking about Barrios and Davis. Look, he says it's going to be a negative 2.0 Fielding and Canelo. Floyd doesn't take chances with anything. He doesn't gamble. I mean, he gambles like money on the outside. We know that, but he doesn't gamble with boxing unless it's a sure thing or close to a sure thing. So he's not putting Davis his only cash cow because it's the only real fighter he has left under his sole promotion that's worth a damn. And with this guy, unless he thinks it's going to sell and promote him big and with no risk of his fighter losing.
So basically, Jay's saying that Tank's going in there, and this is a cherry pick.
Actually,
that's what I think at the moment.
I
DX
agree.
Bulldog. Hold on, DX Bulldog in the chat. Thank you for your contribution. He says same people hating on Showtime they were hyped up for Canelo Yildirim. I don't know if anybody was hyped up for Yildirim.
Who was hyped for Yildirim?
Like,
nobody on this panel.
If you're critical of motion,
nobody, bro.
People are so basic.
You know what? The only people I heard who were hyped up for it were the fat Mexican women that love babyface Canelo. That's the only people.
They don't know shit.
Yeah, and they don't know. They're casual boxing fans. So yeah,
They don't want to scream when he hits the bag and he goes, I.
I didn't even watch the fight live. I watched it the next day. I actually watched the highlights the next day. I wasn't even bothered to watch the whole 3 rounds. And I got the zone. Could have rewatched the whole thing. I didn't want to. So, but you listen. This card, people that are criticizing these Showtime cards, we had a caller say that they were bad. They're not bad, man. Yes, you got 3 trash fights like Charlo Montiel, Davis Barrios, just because of the fact that it's on pay-per-view. That's what makes it trash. And Benavidez Uzcategui. Look, Uzcategui is on a 2-fight losing streak, and he's still dangerous. Don't get me wrong. He's a quality fighter, but that's the best guy you could have found for Benavidez.
That may be the thing. Is who's available. I'm just looking at the WBC for 160 and for Charlo, and I don't know what's going on. Munguia. He's already fought Devinchenko, and I don't think anybody else is available, so they dropped all the way down to number 4, minus the fact that he didn't fight another title holder.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I don't put this on either on Benavidez and Uzcategui. Uzcategui at this point is just trying to collect the check, and Benavidez, he wanted to fight, Plant and Charlo with one of them. I think Jamal, yeah. But then
he did.
Jamal chickened out. Yeah, he stayed there. He stayed down there in 160. Son of a bitch.
Well, if I may,
in a perfect world, it would have been. In a perfect world, it would have been Benavidez Charlo for the title eliminator.
But the thing is with Charlo, he probably doesn't want to go up in weight and fight Benavidez. Like if he's going to fight Benavidez, he's going to want a shitload of money. And they right now the PBC they're running on fumes. Now my thing with the Benavidez Uzcategui fight, it's not the worst fight in the world. Okay, on record, Uzcategui is 0-2 in his last 2 fights. But that being said, the people that beat him did it by staying away from him. Benavidez is not going to run and stay away from him. He's probably going to be about as aggressive as anybody has ever been against Uzcategui. So that's going to be an interesting fight, though. And if Benavidez can take him out, he makes a statement because Caleb Plant couldn't do it. I mean, he dropped him, but those were flash knockdowns. He wasn't really hurt. If Benavidez stops him legit, that's I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, is this a fight you're going to be excited about the 7 days before? Like on the Monday, we go to fight?
No.
You know what I mean? What the hell is the underdog going to be?
I'll be so excited.
I mean, this Showtime, they present us these 9 fights as if they're doing us some sort of fucking favor. And as supposed to we're supposed to be all excited. There's a few fights in there. We all agree they're fine. But the rest are, they're not that great. They're spread from May to September. And then we get a Davis Barrios pay-per-view. This isn't great, guys. Come on.
That's trash. I think I've just been looking at the schedule.
Yeah.
Neri versus Brandon Figueroa is a good fight.
Yes.
That's a banger.
Nonito Donaire against that, what's his name? Ali Bali. What the fuck his name is? Yeah. That guy's pretty good. That's a good fight.
17-0.
Only fight I'm hyped for is Charlo versus Castano.
Yeah,
that's really about it.
That's their dime fight. That's the dime right there.
That's really it for me.
Yeah. It should be the pay-per-view.
If all of them that should be a pay-per-view, it should be that one. I don't think it's pay-per-view worthy, but if they're of the fights we have, that's the one that should be.
And if you see the winner they have on the schedule, the winner of Neri and Figueroa will fight Fulton.
So let me ask you this, fellas. When it comes to Ruiz versus Arreola, it's a rainy night.
Okay.
You're by yourselves. You get some stale pizza in the fridge, maybe a couple of beers left. Nothing to do. You tell me you're not gonna think about buying that pay-per-view?
I'm not gonna buy that, bro. No way.
I'll turn it on if it's on free TV, but I'm not paying any extra money out in those conditions. I'll go play in the puddles.
I would rather rewatch Wilder Fury 2.
All right. Well, there you have it.
That shit.
By the way, hold on. We got StreamYard open, and we got Ragnarok, and we got Connor K. Capri. What's up, Connor? What's on your mind?
Yeah, cool, man. I'm just thinking about the boxing on the weekend, the UFC.
Oh, there's UFC as well? Who's fighting?
Robert Whittaker, Calvin Gastelum.
Really good fight.
Yeah, obviously that's the farce of the Jake Paul and Ben Askren. Just want to see.
Oh boy.
That's garbage, man. Fuck that.
Yeah.
It's trash,
I just want to see Jake Paul get knocked the fuck out.
I don't know if that's going to happen, man.
I hope Ben fucking destroys him.
I don't know if that's going to happen,
Ben Askren, he can't box, man. He's got no stand-up. He's a pure wrestler.
Exactly.
Because,
I'm not saying
because
it will
like Jake Paul.
I hope it happens.
Jake Paul.
Wait, who's talking
I
now?
think trying to mess him up with just dirty boxing and just grind him down. I think he'd do it, man.
Yeah, but when he's a wrestler, but this ain't MMA. They're not going to allow him to hold behind the head and punch. You know what I mean? That's what you can do that in MMA. You can't do that in boxing. So the dirty boxing, I don't know if it's going to work out all that much for Ben Askren.
No, but he's going to try. He'll try to clinch him and then probably put him in the ropes, try to tire him out. That's the only strategy that could work.
I call that sexual assault.
I heard, that Ben Askren, his purse for the fight, it doesn't necessarily end if he uses a couple of MMA moves. So he's allowed to break the rules a couple of times, man.
Okay, that's some Asian.
It's not in the contract.
That's some Asian Rome shit right there, man.
He can fuck him up with that elbow. You get me? Round
one. Hit him in the
two.
box a couple of times.
Yeah, but I think Ben Askren just body slammed him
twice.
No, like really drop him on his head.
Warnings.
I forget what it was, but somebody said if Ben Askren picks Jake Paul up and slams him on the head and gets disqualified, let's start a GoFundMe page for him.
Okay, can I ask something?
I might actually take part in that.
Oh, come on. Now, let me ask this. Oh, by the way, we're going to... Okay, Butcher, are we doing a show tomorrow? Just real quick.
Yep.
But before or after? Just after the fight?
I have no idea.
Okay, because we'll
before the fight?
Okay, because we're going to do the Gonzalo thing tomorrow then. What was I going to say? How much of an asshole is that Paul kid that everyone wants to see him get his ass kicked? What's he done that's asshole-ish?
It's just a
brother, man.
The YouTube prick.
He's a prick himself, but his brother, like, he did like a YouTube video live of like there's like a suicide forest in Japan, and he like live streamed it on YouTube, and there's like a dead body hanging from a tree.
Yeah, he's the guy that did that, huh?
That was his brother, no?
Jake just happened.
Yeah, that was right. Which was the one that knocked?
It was Logan.
Which one was
the one that's fighting is Jake.
Nate Robinson. Who was the one that knocked out Nate Robinson?
Jake Paul. It was Jake Paul. It's Jake Paul. The same Jake Paul that's fighting. It's Jake Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul is the one that's fighting Mayweather.
Let me tell you something.
Is that the one that knocked out?
Doesn't happen.
It's Jake Paul that knocked out Nate Robinson. Jake Paul.
Man. I was upset about that, Nate Robinson.
Let me tell you something, man.
My boy.
That's the future of boxing, baby.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
That's the future. It's terrible, man.
Hey, let me tell you, this Jake Paul kid looks like Hitler's wet dream. But yeah, you know what? Jay's right. We should move. We have an actual.
That's a good one right there.
We have an actual fight tomorrow.
A Jewish Aryan brother.
Okay. So let's get through. Okay, so are we done with the PBC card? I mean, with the PBC cards. I mean, Benavides.
PBC.
If I can wrap up on one more thing, you asked me about the heavyweight pay-per-view. You said you put that rainy night with beer and stale pizza. I have 5,500 fights on my hard drive. I would watch that before I buy that fight.
Oh, Well, there you have it.
BDA.
Yes, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
What's up, buddy? What's going on, gentlemen? How you doing? Hey, listen, my thing on this, I wasn't overwhelmed. I like that. I mean, that dude's carrying that fucking promotion. The Junior Charlo, the 154. That's a good fight. It's a unification fight.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. Then there's a couple of solid scraps, right? A couple of, I don't got nothing going on a Saturday night. I'll definitely watch it live. But other than that, it drops off. But here's the thing. They listed it as the spring rollout. I guarantee there's not going to be a fucking fall rollout. What it's going to be is come September, that's what this runs up to. Then because you notice there's been suspiciously absent is anybody of note. Like the biggest name is Charlo, but where's the Spencers? Where's the fucking Wilder? Where's they used to have a lot more bigger names, but where are they? You know why? Because Showtime has invested in Bellator. So he's working with such a smaller budget, he had to do a bunch of smaller fights. And he couldn't even do fucking Duck Davis and whatever the kid's name is. I mean, I know it's a decent fight. Duck Davis and fucking 140 kid there. So Barrios. So now you got those two it's fucking $75. Are you fucking shitting me? So they couldn't even, Showtime wasn't even going to flip the bill for what obviously they wanted for that fight. So the fact that this is what you got now, come September, you watch, it's going to be a fucking rollout of pay-per-views. It's going to be Spence and anybody else, and it's going to be all on Fox. Actually, Spence tweeted out last night, "Come on, Fox, hurry up and announce your rollouts." So obviously they don't want it too close because it's going to be all pay-per-views. But anyways,
but Jimmy, how is this working out? Because I assume that they had no much more money left. Now all of a sudden they announced. I mean, say what you want about the fights, but they announced about
Showtime's budget. That's all paid for by Showtime. Every fight you saw, all 9 of them, those are all 8. One's a pay-per-view because Showtime wasn't going to flip the money for it. For what Davis thinks is worth. So no, money. All that right there, all that money. Say Showtime said, "Look, I got $11 million. What can you do with it?" And he put together those fights under that thing. There's no money for any of the big guys because, like you said, Wilder wants 10. I mean, he's demanding 10 no matter who he fights. So that's probably most of the budget right there. So all those fights from now on will all be pay-per-view. Expect to pay $75. I mean, they're doing it with Duck Davis. So if they're doing it with him, they're going to do it with fucking Spence. They're going to do it with everybody else. $75 every time they step in the ring. Almost like a streaming service, like a fucking fans-only page for boxing.
So Jimmy,
anyway, what do you guys think of like
Jimmy, Wilder, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, who else is missing?
Errol Spence.
Most of their big names are not fighting.
They ain't got no money to pay.
Yeah, all those guys won't fight here anyway.
And that's what they're going to
fight.
The UFC is taking over boxing, man. I'm telling you guys.
And then what about Benavidez, right? You got Charlo. That motherfucker couldn't stop calling out Triple G, Canelo, all the big fucking coattail riding motherfucker. And then who is he fighting? That dude he's fighting got knocked out. Just got knocked out by a dude fucking Benavidez just knocked out. I mean, he went life and death and got a split decision against Centro or whatever that kid's name is that Charlo walked through like a hot knife through butter.
Centeno.
Yeah.
Centeno, I think.
The kid. So now think about this. That kid just went life and death with the kid that Charlo's about to fight. That's how bad this opponent is. And for a kid who's been fucking calling out, putting his Tarnatatis name to everybody, and there's Benavidez, and I'll fight him. Instead, we're getting Benavidez against the ultra sharp one, Yugostaki, whatever his name is. That kid.
I've never heard of that guy Benavidez is fighting, man. I've never heard of him before.
Yeah, well, he came on. He came as a flash in the pan. He beat what he did. He coming out of nowhere. He
knocked out Durrell.
Durrell got the title. But then when he lost the plant, and then he lost again to a Lionel Thompson of all people, who's got like 6 losses, a feather-fisted dude. And another thing about Charlo I want to make on the record: no matter what, no matter who they are, fucking whether it's a parking lot attendant or the dude who drops your fucking Uber Eats off, no matter who it is, they can't punch. He never faces somebody who can crack ever.
Hey, by the way, can I say something here real quick, man? I want to say something real quick because I see we got Johnny Boy here on the Discord. Johnny Boy, you keep saying Ryan Garcia is gonna fight a bum. I gotta tell you, man, this new narrative of yours of calling everybody a bum, it's not making you look good, man. You're gonna get in trouble with this.
Suspect, man. Do you know what I mean? What is it with people
I
and asses
I only
nowadays,
called
man?
I only called two people. Hey, hold on, let me. Hey, whoever's talking, let me. Hey.
This sounds a bit gay,
Let me
bro.
just
You know
say,
what I'm saying? Come on, man.
I only called two people bum bashers, and that's Ryan and fucking David Benavidez. This is his third bum in a
Did you
row.
like the
How many
picture
passes
of
are we gonna
Chavez
give him?
Jr.? Come on.
Yeah, but
His title
Ryan Garcia
fighting.
is a
Come
prospect,
on.
man.
I don't
love
give a
that
fuck
photo
what
of
he is,
Chavez
Sonny.
Jr.
I
having his bum
don't
out.
give a
bum
fuck what he
basher
is.
too.
Somebody's echoing, by the way. But no. All I'm saying, the only thing I said, BDA, is that I'm sick of these fuckers calling him the boogeyman when he's fighting bum, and not to mention he can't make weight, and he's calling out a dude Charlo who's 2 weight classes fucking lower than him because he's a 175 pounder weight bullying himself at 168. Then when the WBC was going to make him Beterbiev's mandatory, he said, "Oh no."
Well, look, I agree about the Benavidez thing. I mean, Uzcategui is not a bad fighter, but he's 0-2 on paper. But with Ryan Garcia, look, I will say this: Garcia, Lopez, those two guys, they shot themselves in the foot because they talk so much trash, especially Garcia, going on that Mike Tyson podcast and getting into it with Gervonta Davis and saying, I'm going to knock you out, and trying to talk black. And then he fights Javier Fortuna. That looks bad. I agree. But to call Fortuna a bum, that's where I draw the line. I don't mind calling guys bums if they deserve to be called bums, but he's no bum. Just like you were calling Conor Benn a bum the other day.
Oh,
Conor Benn and a bum.
Dude, this guy got fucking smacked by Adrian Granados in 2 rounds and flopped on his back and
European level.
Hang on, let me finish talk. Who's echoing here? Let me finish. This dude got knocked out in 2 fucking rounds by Adrian Granados and flopped around the ring and faked an injury like Bernard Hopkins. Are you fucking kidding me? Stop it.
He's no bum, man. Hey, look, if you want to tell me, I've heard people say Ryan Garcia is taller than him. So was Robert Easter Jr. He had trouble landing on Fortuna, and I think Fortuna should have won that fight. I'd have to rewatch it just to make sure. But from what I remember, from the little I remember of that boring fight, I thought Fortuna should have edged it. So he's no bum, man. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think it's a good look if you want credibility on this in this YouTube.
He shouldn't be in the mix of the top lightweights.
There you go. Okay, well,
yeah, but Garcia is a prospect too. Ryan Garcia is a prospect. Ryan Garcia is honestly, it's just that he talks a big game. He talks himself into the limelight, like, you know, and some people take him serious. I don't. I still see him as a prospect. So fighting Fortuna, it's okay for me because, I mean, okay, would you be shocked if he failed that? Like he goes in there and he fails? It could happen.
Yes,
I wouldn't be shocked.
I would.
That's an excellent point. Ryan Garcia is not the best either. Yes.
Gonzalo.
Yeah, he's not a world beater. I don't see him as a world beater. You know, if you're telling me Teofimo versus Fortuna or Lomachenko, I'll be like, all right, they look like they're cherry picking now.
Okay, see now, let me say this. I was ready to give the kid his props after he got off the floor and beat Luke Campbell. Then the pussy went out to call out Devin Haney, Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, and worst of all, Manny fucking Pacquiao. And then you're fighting Fortuna's bum ass? Stop it, bro.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is Fortuna is actually a pretty tricky fighter. I think Ryan Garcia is going to stop him because fucking Fortuna, when he comes forward, he keeps his chin up in the air. But if he stays away, if Fortuna is smart and stays away from Garcia, he could make it a very interesting fight because Garcia doesn't really have the fleetest of feet, and Fortuna can move around. So to call Fortuna, and don't give me that whole thing about Jason Sosa knocked him out. Jason Sosa had to catch up with him to knock him out. It's not like he was having his way with Fortuna.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dumb pick, to be honest.
Now watch this. But regardless of what happened in the conclusion of that fight, he went in life and death with a featherweight, Jason Sosa, who's not that fucking good. Tough, but not that fucking good.
Jason Sosa's not a featherweight.
But these guys, look, they're not fighting for this.
Gonzalo, let me finish.
No, keep going, Gonzalo. Keep going.
No, hang on.
No, I agree with Johnny, but I think.
So wait a minute. So you're telling me this guy who went life and death with Jason Sosa got stopped and got clapped in 2 rounds by Adrian Granado's a slow ass, and he's a foot shorter than Ryan Garcia with a 4-inch reach disadvantage. You're calling this a legitimate fight, and he's
I'll tell you this. He's no bum. And Jason Sosa, I don't know where you got this from. Jason Sosa is no. Jason Sosa, hold on. Jason Sosa is no featherweight, man. The guy was a big, strong guy. Burchell took him out, but that's because Burchell's a fucking monster himself. It's a good fight. Like I said, Robert Easter Jr., he was, 2 feet taller or something like that, like fucking Fortuna. He couldn't do it. So Ryan Garcia, it's not the worst fight. I agree. Ryan Garcia shot himself in the foot by talking all that smack. But that fight's not that bad.
Is it like it's like a sideways movement from Campbell, yeah? From Luke Campbell.
It is, yeah. It is.
Fortuna,
It
yeah.
is.
It's not
I wouldn't say it's a complete downstep, but you could argue that. But
it's not a
downstep because Fortuna's winning. He's winning, so in this game you position yourself to fight for a title, and Ryan Garcia's not a champion either. So they're just positioning themselves to fight the best, maybe in the next or the 2 fights from now. So, Fortuna deserves an opportunity. And he's going to try to beat Garcia.
I agree that
but Garcia could have fought for the title.
Boy, Fortuna's there. Fortuna's not the most dangerous opponent. He's there to lose. Like when they put that fight together, they're hoping Ryan Garcia can beat this dude with no problems. That's the key. It's no problem, right?
Can only get you so far.
Recognize that's what they do with prospects. They put them in with guys.
Yeah, he's a prospect. He's not a champion.
He's not even ranked. He's not. I just checked fight news. He's not ranked.
Okay, now here I agree with what Ed just said. Actually, that it's more or less a sideways movement rather than an up or a down. I agree with what Ed just said on that. Actually,
yeah.
He almost got knocked out. He almost got knocked out.
The biggest thing. The biggest thing is that his management needs to tell him to shut up and color, shut up and dance, shut up and color. Quit running your mouth so much.
No, they like this.
We're not. Yeah, but don't do it too much. Don't do it too much because you're putting it just like Johnny says. You're calling everybody out and then you're not fighting them. You're calling everybody out.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
Start calling out the other prospects. Start calling out the B-level guys and blow the crap out of them to show the fact that you're above that level. Like this. Which is what they want to do. And if you do it in devastating fashion, you build a repertoire, you build a resume, you build highlight reels, and then people want to see you fight. Then you can go in and start calling those guys out.
Because right now, I only see him slightly better than these guys. I really do. I'm sorry. I know he knocked out Luke Campbell, but what goes into my mind is if Luke Campbell would have hit him a little bit harder, he'd have knocked him out.
Hey, can I say something real quick? Let me say something real quick. Let me say something real quick. Let me say something real quick. Shout out to Iceman for his contribution. He says, David Baba Yaga Benavides. Oh, come on, Iceman. Anyway, shout out to David. Shout out to Iceman for that. Chris K says, shout out to him. He says, Usyk left cruiserweight to duck Jake Paul. Oh, we got a conspiracy theory now on foot. All right. Good. Shout out to Chris K. I'm going to look into that. Man, because I think there's some validity to it.
To join.
Let me say something real quick. Hold on, real quick. Let me just say that.
Nonce is a good word.
Hold on. Let me just say that I agree with, like I said, Ryan Garcia talking his way on that podcast, Mike Tyson podcast, saying, "Oh, I want to fight you, Tank Davis. I want to knock you out," and then he fights Fortuna. That's a bad look. And same thing with Teofimo Lopez. He talked all the talk, and then he fights Kombucha. But even the Kombucha fight, it's not that bad. Kombucha's not a bad fighter. He's very quick. And Devin Haney's taking on Linares. So those fights are good. But the reason why we're being so critical of them is because they could be fighting each other and they're not. I think that's where the problem lies. When they talk so much crap and then they end up fighting other guys and not each other. Right? I think that's the problem.
I mean, here's my thing, bro.
Yeah, they're all.
You ain't gonna be running up in here calling David Benavides the boogeyman when he's fighting fucking Jose Uzcategui.
He was kidding. He was kidding, Johnny Boy. Let's stick to that.
Out of here.
He was kidding.
Zit-faced fat coke snorting hype job. Fuck out of here with
that. He'll wipe out most of the 168 division though.
But
he may be all that, but he would wipe the
Frankie,
with a probably the only guy he can't beat is Canelo. That's it. He can't probably beat Canelo.
I agree with that, bro. But in the same breath, it's the worst division in the sport.
Yeah, and I think Caleb Plant would do him in too.
Yeah, if Caleb Plant doesn't fucking fold, he doesn't
I
fold when he starts getting tagged up.
I think fucking
Caleb Plant.
he beats the brakes
Caleb
off Plant.
Yeah, exactly. I think he beats the.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be right, but I'm putting my money on Benavidez beats the brakes off of Caleb Plant. And the only person that I think that I would probably bet money on to beat Benavidez is Canelo. That's it. In one
I
single
got Bektimer Melakuziev knocking Benavidez
Like
out
you
in
said,
5
it's
rounds.
a bad division.
Yeah, Melakuziev is going to be ducked. He's going to be ducked, bro.
Well, since we're talking so much about Benavidez, why when Ramirez was there as WBO champ did no one push for a unification fight between those two?
Because Ramirez said no. That's the reason why Top Rank let him go.
Yeah.
Bob asked him twice. I don't know if
people got to remember Bob asked him point. Bob asked him point blank.
Yeah. He offered up 2 fights. The interview I heard, he didn't mention the fighters. One, I believe, was an in-house other Top Rank fighter, and the other was he was trying to cross promote something. I doubt it was the PBC, may have been DAZN, obviously, or Golden Boy, because PBC doesn't cross promote. And he said no both times. And Bob said, "That's it, you're gone." And now he's with Golden Boy.
Man, that's insane, man. That's insane that they go through this.
I didn't hear that. Who's the Golden Boy now?
Yes, just recently signed, actually. Yes, Gilberto Ramirez just recently signed with Golden Boy.
Gilberto, Zuldo. Okay.
Yeah, Zudo, yeah. That boring
I was about to tell you, Jose.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit, I was about to
and my thing with Ryan Garcia, the reason why I didn't, I just shut that kid off. Like, if I listened to him, I'd be as fired up as Johnny, because I tend to believe people when they say things. So I put that kid on total ignore, because my thing is this. He's right now, you got Teofimo Lopez, you got Virgil Ortiz and Ryan Garcia. Right now, that's pretty much the fucking bread and butter for Golden Boy. There wasn't a snowball's chance in hell Golden Boy was going to put him in there against someone who could beat him next. You just knew that coming off Campbell. So that's why I just knew that wasn't going to happen.
Campbell almost knocked him out. He saw that and said, "Wait a second, we need to slow down just a little bit."
Yeah, that's what happened.
I know he knocked him out with a body shot. But
Oscar needs to milk
they rewinded that a little bit. Hold on. They rewinded that second round, and they saw how easy Campbell just stepped into that and how wide open he was. He could have knocked him out, bro. I mean, yes, he got up, but he could have knocked his fucking ass out.
Hey, fellas, real quick. We got a lot going on. We got people on StreamYard, Discord, and then we got phone calls. Let's go to the phone calls real quick before they leave. 559, you're on the air. 559, what's on your mind?
Yeah, first, I want to say that, I don't have a problem with Garcia fighting Fortuna because, most of all, he is just a prospect. And he only really fought Campbell. I mean, what's he supposed to fight? Lomachenko next? What else? What do you want from the guy? He's a very flawed prospect still. He's still trying to... I mean, he got dropped by Campbell in a way that I thought he was knocked out. That was a perfect hit. And if Fortuna lands that same one, who's to say he gets up this time? You don't know. So, and isn't this a mandatory too? Or am I wrong?
Well, I think he's
I don't believe it's mandatory because you're not a champion.
I think they...
And he ran
elimination. Maybe.
It's an elimination, but I thought that the Campbell and fucking Garcia was an elimination to fight Devin Haney, but apparently... I guess...
Who did he fight before
Devin
Campbell?
tweeted he could have been fighting for the title.
Yeah.
His opponent before Campbell wasn't a bum, wasn't it? Didn't he do something?
No, he fought Campbell, and that was an eliminator. He doesn't.
Yeah, but who did he fight before that? Didn't he start
Devin
somebody
Haney
in the first round or something?
He doesn't want to fight Devin Haney.
Yeah,
that I would say, and that's probably coming from De La Hoya.
Francisco. Fought.
What's that?
He fought Francisco.
Yeah.
Well, Francisco what?
He Fonseca.
Yeah, but that kid, if I'm not mistaken, that kid had never been stopped before, right? Wasn't he the first one to stop him? No,
he got stopped by Davis, I think.
Yeah, he did. You're
who's
right.
This? Who's that? Who's that? The boy from my neighborhood talking?
Yeah.
Nice. How you doing, brother? Just want to say, is Stu on this thing too?
Yeah, I think Stu just jumped in. Yeah.
Stu, yeah.
And
I don't know.
and Fortuna,
Okay,
he beat Losada, the guy that beat beat Verdejo.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
As well.
The reason why we're all pissed off with Ryan Garcia, Lopez, and all this is because they're not fighting each other. Now, yes, I agree. The Fortuna fight, it's not that bad, but Ryan Garcia really should have followed the one of the rules of silence is golden. That's one of the 4 rules that the Olmecs or Toltecs used to follow, and he didn't do that. He talked all that crap about Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, and then whoops, he goes ahead and fights Fortuna. I mean, that's a tease, and then it turns out that the woman has a dick. What the fuck? Who's coughing? Anyway.
He's an annoying little fucker. Every time I see his post, like a thumbnail on my YouTube feeds, I gotta erase it. It's him and Teofimo Lopez. They're fucking trolls.
Maybe they're cash cows too. You gotta think of it that way. I know what you're saying. I know what BDA is saying, but he's a cash cow.
Oh yeah,
Oscar needs that cocaine. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
he does.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like he needs the cash.
You got to give the kid credit. He does have a nice check hook.
Yeah, but that doesn't allow him to talk all that shit. But listen, hold on. Let's get back to the. Let's get back to the.
You know, his fundamentals are good. You know, but
let's get back to the caller here. Caller, what else you got to say about?
Shit's pretty shit.
Yeah.
For most of all, I don't think they're gonna let Gervonta Davis fight Ryan Garcia anyway. He's not in the fucking stable. That's not gonna happen. Let's be honest. It's not. And Teofimo's doing bigger things. He's not gonna fight Ryan Garcia. Yeah, it would be a good payday. I think he'll do it, but I don't think he really cares for him at this point. He's looking at other shit. Haney could be a thing, but Haney's fighting competition way lower than everybody else. He's so far behind. I don't think he's. I mean, the Linares fight. I'm gonna be honest with Haney. I think that's bad matchmaking for him. He's never fought a slick fighter or someone that is slick coming forward like Linares. So after Linares, the way then I could, if he does beat him in a way that with skill other than just like running, trying to top shot and you know trying to outpoint him. If he beats him with skill, then I would say he's probably ready for one of these guys. But his competition so far has been the least tough than all the other 4 prospects that you guys are talking about. So what's he supposed to do? I mean, wait for them to want to act? Because I do believe Ryan Garcia does want to fight. I don't think he's afraid of him either. I really do think he wants those fights, but I just don't think they're going to happen. I think we're about a year and a half away from any of those fights happening. Or am I? I mean, don't you guys agree with that?
But Golden Boy's afraid to tell him to shut the fuck up because their relationship is so, you know what I mean, iffy. Like it's on a string right now. They're afraid to really upset him, so they're letting him run his mouth. Normally, they would say, "Shut up! Stop calling people out. We're not going to make these fights because it doesn't make them look good." You're all right. Every one of you, you're all right. Nobody can ever use words you haven't said against you. So
very well said, Jimmy.
Very
well said, Jimmy. As far as these fights not happening yet, I think you're absolutely right that they're not going to happen yet because they got to marinate a little bit. Trailer comes in with $4 million for Teofimo, but good luck seeing if he's going to get that unless anyone else is going to overshell out money for what he hasn't proved that he can sell yet. And the rest of them, they're babies. I mean, they're not babies like they can't fight and they're little boys. They're grown men that can fight, but they are so raw in the sport that they haven't really developed a big enough audience yet to be able to reap the rewards of putting these guys in with each other. I don't like that side of the business, but that's the reality of what it is.
Man. Hold on.
I just think the first fight out of all those that happens will be Devin versus Ryan, because I think Eddie Hearn really wants to make that happen, and he's going to make it happen.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see. Listen, we'll see what happens. Hopefully the lightweights all end up fighting each other, because right now what they're doing is they're not taking bad fights, but for all the talking they did and everything else they accomplished beforehand, like Teofimo Lopez fought Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia fought Campbell, and now they're fighting guys that are well below that level. So we want to see more, man. The bar
thing is, You're only disappointed if you actually thought that those fights were gonna happen next.
Well, they did the talking. They did the talking, Bucho. They made it sound as if they really wanted to fight each other. And after they fought those top guys, you would have assumed that maybe they were saying the truth, telling the truth. But no, it turns out that they were just they got one big fight, and now they want 10 mil to fight each other or 20 mil. I mean, it's.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
It's a little ridiculous. Anyway, caller, thank you for your call. We gotta move on to another one, but thank you for good call and call back next time, right, man? Take it easy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go real quick to 619. Hold on a second. Waiting. Okay, 619. You're on the air. 619. What's on your mind?
Yo.
You're
What's up, guys?
How you
guys doing?
We're doing good. 619. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I just want to say props to Showtime Boxing for publishing their upcoming schedules. Looks like some good fights in the mix here. You got nine championships. It's called Showtime Championship Boxing. Not all of these fights are championship fights, but some of them are. They have championship implications. For example, we already know about the Mestizo belts that Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders are fighting for. But is it true that David Benavidez and Jose Aztec guy? Is it true? Is it true that they're fighting for the mulatto belt next?
No, I don't. I think that. I think you get
wait.
wrong.
He was serious, right? They're fighting for the Mestizo belt. Is that what it's
the
called?
Mestizo belt, yeah.
I mean, this is fucking gay. This is
It's not even true, man.
I heard Bob Washington
if
the
it's
CDC
true.
was a setup.
Canelo's fighting for the white boy belt, bro. What's the matter with that?
Yeah, that's
funny, dude.
When are they gonna do that Chichimek belt? When two real dark-looking Hispanics fight each other? Look, it's a bizarre thing that they're doing right now. No, I said.
But it's only fair, right? If they're gonna
Fury
promote
won the Aztec belt.
all the Indians and then the Mestizos, they've also got to give props to the mulattoes as well, right?
Yeah, well, then at some point they're gonna have to give props to everybody else, man. They're gonna have to have the like you said, the mulatto, the mestizos, the what else? The Asian, Eskimo. If somebody's a little bit like slightly autistic, they're gonna do the autistic belt. I mean, when's it gonna stop?
I'm glad they're doing this. It makes all these champions look like fucking jokes.
Well, that's what even Davis is tweeting out there. All his fans are talking about. Oh man, you're propping him up, saying, "Look at that, he's got two. He's going after now he's going after champion at 140." No, he's not. He's going after a junior belt. So what does he eat at the fucking little kids' table at fucking Thanksgiving too? Get the fuck out of here.
For some people,
Jimmy.
For some people.
BDA, I want to give
some people who don't understand.
Real quick,
Can you guys explain what a mestizo means?
Who wants to explain what a mestizo means? Yeah.
Mestizo is when you get like a mixture. When you get like European and indigenous mix. That's mestizo.
By the way, Connor, you got your fucking speakers on. Connor, you got your speakers. You got to turn that shit off, man. Because we hear ourselves in the background. Anyway, go ahead.
I think that's what it is, right? Mestizo.
Oh yeah, my mic's fucked up. I'm gonna drop out.
All right, go ahead, guys. What?
But in Canelo's case,
yeah,
like
I think a mestizo is a person of Spanish or European descent who's mixed blood with the local native indigenous. So that's the mestizo.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
We used to call those mongrels.
Oh, okay, come on, Jimmy. What's the matter with you?
I'm just kidding. I'm fucking around, dude. Jesus.
What's the matter with you? Hey, but listen.
I don't know. I felt like being a douche.
Yeah, but listen, Bolt Hype. So, are you pro mestizo belt, Bolt Hype, or are you anti mestizo belt? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, what's your opinion of that?
If they're gonna do a mestizo belt for Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo, to be fair, to keep it balanced, they got to do a mulatto belt for David Benavidez and Aztec guy.
Wait, is Benavidez mulatto?
Yeah,
or is he?
Here's another thing, BDA. If you're gonna have two fighters fighting for the mestizos belt, they need to be mestizos. These are two white dudes. They're just pure white.
Yeah, he's from South America, right? Yugoslavia, isn't he from like Argentina or something? Or
no, we're talking about Canelo.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Benavidez and
Benavidez and Jose.
Wait, Tegui, he's from Venezuela, but he trains and lives in Mexico in Tijuana.
Yeah, but he's Yeah.
Recognize. Are you actually saying the two Irish people mated, dropped off Canelo, and then hauled ass?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it just left him in Mexico, and now that's why
he looks Irish. When I look at him, I see a guy who's like from Scotland or Ireland. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was fucking decided to speak Spanish for fun in one interview.
No, no, man. Look, listen, Canelo. If you look at his parents,
there's many Mexicans like Canelo. I would even dare to say about 30% of the population in Mexico looks like Canelo.
That's right. You look at his parents; they're all white. If you look at his parents, they're both white. They don't look 100% Mexican. So that's what I think. That's what. Listen, this is just a WBC coming up with more BS, man. They're gonna continue. It's not gonna stop. The only thing we can do as fans is to start ignoring that shit. Go ahead, Regnus.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like I don't care. I don't care about what fucking section of the WBC. The WBC is a joke. They're a clown sanctioning body. They got the franchise and then the regular, and then they got the regular, and then they got the regular. So like, fuck them. Like, it doesn't matter.
Don't forget the gold, the diamond, the silver, and the platinum.
In the email.
In the interim.
And
the Bridger division.
And when are they gonna do the pride? When are they gonna do the pride belt where two gay guys fight each other?
Well, that's coming soon with Ryan Garcia. You watch.
Oh,
and WBA is probably even worse.
Do you remember in the Mike Tyson Roy Jones press conference where Roy Jones was like, even if you got the Joe Patty seafood belt, I want that. When's that gonna come? When's the Joe Patty seafood belt coming?
Well, remember when Roy Jones used to have all the belts at 175? He didn't just have the three belts. He liked the WBO, but I think he also had like the IBO, IBA, WBF, or shit like that. Like, he had about 15 belts, man. It was ridiculous.
I did not want that WBO. He did not want that one.
He can't like 20 belts.
I want Mauricio Suleiman to keep it fair, keep it balanced, and promote the next belt should be the mulatto belt, okay? And it should only be Afro-Mexicans or Afro-Latinos who get to fight for it, all right? That's to keep it fair.
Yeah, that whole Afro this, Afro that, it's all made up. You're either Latino, black, white.
You know what, BDA?
Yeah.
That's right.
I thought boxing was supposed to bring us together. Now it's tearing us apart. That's happened?
Right. That's a good question there. That's a good point for Joseph.
Ask Suleiman why he came out with a mestizo belt. Like, he's actually being fucking real racist right there.
That's right.
Hey, boxing has only brought us together as far as the ethnicity or nationality you supported. Trust me, Mexico has never embraced the Puerto Rican champion.
If you're going to celebrate Mexicans with mixed European blood, then you got to celebrate us Mexicans who are also mixed with African blood.
Wait, I mean, a bull hype. I thought you were like an Arab or something.
No, Luis Neri. Didn't you see Luis Neri?
Yeah.
Luis Neri.
Yeah, he does look like that. Listen, if I were an airport security person, I would not let him in on any plane, man. Luis Neri looks suspect, man. Let's just put like he's got. He looks like he's got a couple of box cutters hidden in his pants, if you know what I mean. Look at this. Hold on. Oh, okay.
Looks like he knows Mexican judo.
This is the first.
No, he's just happy to see you.
Don't do that.
Look at this. He looks like he's wearing ISIS with the black. He looks like he's from ISIS. Am I wrong or am I wrong here? Come on.
The caliphate.
Come on this Friday evening, Ramadan, you're going that direction. Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, bold hype. Tell me I'm wrong, man.
He's got a little bit of texture.
He looks like the kind of Mexicans.
Afro-Mexican. He's already admitted that. I mean, he's already claimed that he's Afro-Mexican.
He's not Afro anything. You're either Mexican. Okay, come on, man.
He looks like the kind of Mexican that most Mexicans don't like.
Oh, jeez.
Well, where's his head? Just has the top buttons.
Black Panther, man.
Wearing that fucking beard like that. You know he's disliked over there.
Well, like what about the ones who have just the top just the shirt, just the top button in the hairnet?
Yeah, that's the.
That's a good look.
BDA.
Yes,
you seen these comments in the Discord?
They listened in. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Bullhead. What's that, Stu? What'd you say?
Are you seeing the comments in the Discord?
No, it's going in the Discord or in the chat.
I've got a guy, right?
he's giving me a message through Discord, giving it the fucking Barry. He's put, "What up? I left a comment on this video, and you had a lot of shit to say. I'm here now. What do you have to say?" So he's telling me about the
What
agent.
the fuck?
I've just put LOL. Please call in now, and he's not got back to me. So I said, "Well, I'm waiting for you. Where are you?"
Oh, okay. You're talking about Connor.
Yeah. So he's saying
was,
he's in the Discord. He said he's in the Discord now, and he wants a piece, right? So I'm saying, call in the show. I'm ready. I mean, I'm sat here quiet, but I'm ready to go, mate. I don't need a full training camp for this mug. I could turn up with 48 hours notice and get the job done.
Okay, right? Can I say what happened?
So I'm telling him to call in, and he's saying he wants to call me after the stream and have a one-on-one. I said, no, it doesn't work like that. If you want a piece of Stuart Little, you call in on the show and you do it live, so I can destroy you in front of the world.
Okay, let me just say this. This guy. Let me just say this. This guy. Can I say something real quick? This guy was Connor Capri, K Capri to be exact. He was here on the StreamYard, but he had his speakers on. And then he says, "Oh, sorry, I gotta go." When I told him to shut his speakers off, he said, "Oh, I gotta go," and he left, and he hasn't come back. So
no, that's not him, Mr. BDA. That's not him. He's saying it's not him. He will take on Stu anyways, but that's not him.
Oh, okay. Then who was? Okay, Stu, who is it? What's the name of the guy?
What's his name?
Hang on a sec. His name is Deritu or Deritu. I don't know. It's NDERITU.
The African guy. I don't know
who it is.
Well, and what did he? So
Wasn't he on?
Yeah, he was on here and last week too. He's the African dude with the kick-ass logo that I like so much.
Oh, I don't know if I've come across this guy yet on the show, but here I am waiting. Like I said, mate, no training camps for this one.
And
I don't even need a trainer. Actually. I don't even need a trainer for this one.
And the Ritu, let's make it happen, man. Bring in your AK-47 that you brought from the arms dealers. Stu, you'll bring in whatever Brits use, I don't know, like a sword or something. And let's make it happen,
a water pistol will be enough with this guy.
Oh, come on.
What did I just walk into?
You walked into a party. That's what you walked into.
No, I got disconnected, and I hear AK-47s and water pistols.
You walked into a shit show.
Speaking of shit shows, shout out to Savior Sammy, who says, he donated the super chat. He says, "How many times I gotta ask for my Slugger Sam Archives account to get unblocked?" Well, you're here now, Savior Sammy. You don't need any other account. You're good this way. So thank you for your contribution. Don't forget to call in, join the StreamYard, or join the public Discord group. It's open lines Friday. Anything goes. And as you can see, Stu's already been challenged by what's his name again? I forgot his name, but let's call him African dude, the African warlord who's on the warpath. He wants a piece of stew. Right, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, little Connor boy in the chat wants a piece as well. By the looks of it, he's calling me out. Look, I'll Dustin Poirier your fucking ass, Connor. Remember that, son.
Savior Sammy in the
Dude,
chat.
Like you always say, man, you're like Bruce Lee against all those Japanese karate guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I'm like Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon. You know, when he's near them cells and he's got about 50 people attacking him, and he's taking them all out on his own with his nunchuckers. That's me right now in the BDA. I've got these guys from all angles, but I'm ready. I've been quiet. I've just come off the sofa. It's a bit like Tyson Fury, isn't it? Been on off the sofa, been on a coke binge for 6 months, and I'm still ready to go to beat this guy.
Shout out to Slugger Sam. Shout out to Slugger Sam, who says, "Where's my wrench? I should be a moderator." No, you should not be a moderator, but thank you for your super chat, Savior Sammy. I really appreciate it. Ben Askren says, "Is Stu drunk?" Oh, now they're calling into question his...
No. Hey, listen, I bought today some hash, right, from America. This stuff is like
stop chatting.
£250. This stuff is £250.
Smoking crack.
£250, which is what's that, about $350? I don't know. For like 14 grams of this stuff, and I've had one joint, and it's rocked me to my fucking feet.
Is it pure hash? Is it just hash, or is it weed mixed? Is it just hash?
Yeah, this is a proper hash. This is
okay. So about $350 for half an ounce. That's about right. Actually, it's a pretty decent price if it's good.
He's talking about it.
Well, yeah, it's actually been sent over from America as well, and it's
yeah. So no, because that's actually a decent price. You can pay fucking for hash, good hash. That's decent. So you didn't
All
get
right,
ripped off. Is my point.
We gotta iron out a
much
couple
you
of
get?
details here. Because Conor K. Capri is not the guy that was calling out Stu, but he says he's willing to take him on. Conor Capri, go ahead. He's on the StreamYard. Go ahead, Conor.
Yo, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Stu, stop chatting shit, man. What you on about? You ordered fucking 14 grams of hash from America.
Can
You're
someone
talking
tell me who this
politics.
guy
I
is?
can hear the crack
Is this
in
little
your
Connor
voice.
boy? Is this little
Finger
Connor?
in your ass and start
I don't talk
smacking
to.
kids up, you little batty boy.
Bro, you sound like a little faggot, bro. I'd break your
Why
jaw
don't you meet
with
me
a
then,
jab.
man? And we can
Get the
record
fuck
it for
out.
some content.
Trust me, mate. You ain't doing a damn thing. Oh, you'll
Why
be.
don't you meet me
You'll,
then?
I'll feed you
Why
to
don't
the
you meet
pig
me, man?
after I've chung lead your ass.
It'd be some
Trust
funny
me on that
content,
one.
just for a laugh.
You,
Do you know what I'm
you.
saying?
Who am I talking to?
BDA
Someone tell me
channel.
who I'm talking to.
His name is Conor K. Capri.
Yeah.
The one who gives it
Says
to
it all,
Paul
doesn't
Reed.
Can I ask what's the beef? What happened?
I bet he's got his fucking high heels on.
Yeah.
His
I mean, what just took
High
place?
tops
What did I miss?
Because he's
Everybody
getting
say
called
hi.
on.
It's an English thing.
Yeah, you know what happened?
It's an English
Arabian
thing,
nonsense.
Gonzalo says.
It's BDA. You know the guy.
Gonzalo, it's an English thing.
Hold on. One at a time. Here's what happens. Here's what happened, Jimmy. Here's what happened.
Connor,
Here's what
honestly,
happened.
Connor, the minute you opened your mouth and that geeky Rick Moranis voice came out, there's just no fear here. I knew straight away that this would be easy work. This would be like Conor Ben versus Samuel Vargas. I don't need you. Listen, the fact that
you knocked my teeth out last week.
I tell you, what, go get some wins under your belt. Right, go get a bit of confidence because you haven't got any confidence. I mean, you're muttering and stuttering and sounding like a fucking a guy that sucks his boots right now. I mean, look,
stop
go and get some confidence. Go and get a few wins and come back. And then at least when I destroy you,
bro, and I'm
I'll get
talking
some
about
sort of
real
credit for
life
it.
on the cobbles, yeah, man to man, toe to toe.
This guy sounds like Alex from
On
A
the
Clockwork
cobbles.
Orange, man.
Hey, on
Yeah,
the cobbles, mate. The only thing
you're
he's doing
talking
on the
about the
cobbles is
internet,
fucking
yeah?
gobbling
I'm
men
talking
in the
about
fucking
real
car
life.
park.
You
Get
said
out
you
of them.
knocked my teeth out, yeah?
You know about the cobbles. You got your knees in the cobbles all the time, ain't you? Get out of here.
You're a non
Fighting on cobbles, man. That's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, that's
Country
some British shit right there.
Do you know what happened to Stu?
Talking about twisting it.
Where
I
you
found out
from,
about
Connor?
Stu, yeah? You got your head stuck in a bottle bank, yeah? And a group
All right.
of pissheads
Listen, Conor.
walked
You're
back
lame, bro.
Conor,
You're
Conor.
lame, man.
turned
Trust
on
me.
you.
You're lame, bro. You're fucking lame, man. Honestly, if you
And
thought you
what
could
you
come
on
on
about?
here
You're
and
the one
put on a
talking
good
shit,
show,
saying you
you
fucking
stunk the
ordered
joint out,
14
bro.
grams
You
of
did a
hash from
Rigondeaux
America. We
performance.
got better weed
Threw
over
4
here.
punches
What are you
around, and
talking
even they
shit
didn't
for?
connect. Get out of here, son.
All right. Hold on.
Come back when
can't
you
even
I
buy
gotta
come back when
weed.
you're
interject here.
relevant.
I gotta
funny.
Come
interject
back when
here.
you're relevant.
I gotta interject here.
weed,
Connor,
things.
I gotta interject.
You got some
Connor.
civil war, man.
Connor. You gotta stay. Okay. You went after Stu. I gotta admit, it got a little stale. How about Johnny Boy? You got a problem with Johnny Boy? Everyone seems to have a problem with Johnny Boy nowadays.
What have I got a problem with
He
Johnny
said
Boy?
it got a little stale.
I haven't got a problem
Holy
with
shit.
Johnny Boy. I'm calling
Hey,
Stu out
that
in real
style,
life for some content.
even a fucking hungry, starving stray dog sniffed it and walked on. That's how style that was. Rotten for
Stu,
the
you
cure.
cannot even
Chuck.
buy weed from the streets of England. That goes to show how much of a faggot you
Listen,
are.
I can get any weed I want. I'm talking about this has been
Heady
delivered
weed.
from the
Why are you
States,
talking
bro.
like that
Because that's the
for,
links
man?
I've
From
got.
the UK,
I've
what do you
got
mean,
links
heady
where
weed?
listen, this hash, right, would cost you a whole gyro
Stop
that you get. And the
stuttering, you
gyro
prick.
you get for the fortnight, that would pay for this hash just.
All right. Well, listen. I mean, we're getting it.
Man, there's hash in every street.
All right, so
corner.
who won the?
Yeah,
Listen,
who
bro,
won?
you don't know about hash. Listen,
You're
you
too
smoke
scared to
twigs
fucking
and
find
seeds.
a link.
You
All
smoke
right.
twigs and seeds. People
All
rip you
right,
up.
all
When they see you come in, they give you the twigs and seeds. Get
All right,
out.
this was
of
who
here.
won. Who won? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who won? Who
Yeah,
won?
go ahead. Hold on.
Who won this
Hold
little?
on.
Who won this little scrap? That's what I'm talking about. Because Connor went after Stu's weed taste. Stu went after his sexuality. I think they both went after each other's sexuality, as it always tends to go in this type of affairs. What do you fellas say? Who won this little tussle?
I couldn't hear the
Long
other guy. All I heard
title.
was Stu.
All I heard was Stu. To be totally honest with you, and he sounded very angry. And then win, lose, or draw. Stu's my boy, so I'm never gonna go against him.
Ah, shit! Wait a minute. Are you guys telling me you can't hear shit?
You're
From
home bias here, man.
Are you guys telling me you can't hear? Oh, you could hear. Okay,
barely.
okay.
Of
A little
course,
bit.
Stu's your boy. Yeah, he's your boy. Whatever. I'm just saying, Stu's acting
I'm
hard
not. Listen,
online.
dude. I'm
Yeah?
not
I'll
trying.
send
Hey,
you
I'm
to
not
the
trying to
real
get no
life.
fucking over the phone beef with you, dude. I'm just saying, Stu's my friend, so I'm obviously never gonna take somebody I don't know over my friend. That's all. I'm
Of
not
course,
fucking.
Johnny,
I'm
I
just saying.
respect
I
that,
don't
bro.
need to hit.
Yeah,
Jimmy,
Johnny,
Jimmy,
I
thank you for that,
respect
but
that.
I
I'm just
don't need my
calling him
friends
out
in
on
this
his
guy. Let
bullshit.
him
He didn't
speak.
order
Let him speak, 'cause
40
the more he
half
speaks,
ounce
the
of
more he
fucking hash
loses.
from America.
All right. Well,
Henny
listen.
weed.
All right. This
No,
was a
he
good.
didn't call
BJ,
it
let him
Henny
finish,
weed. What
because
the fuck
I'm
are you
not hearing a
talking
word
about,
he's saying. Go
Stu?
on, I'm going to give him the floor for a minute to get off his chest what his problem with me. Go ahead, you've got
Why?
the floor
Because you
for 1
can't
minute.
handle it.
Don't
Because you
fuck
know
this
you're
up, bro,
talking
because you're
shit.
not going to get another
Yeah.
title
You talk.
opportunity.
You're giving me
This
the
is
floor.
it's
Yeah.
only
You talk shit
a
online.
once in a
Yeah. You
lifetime
fucking
opportunity. You
time
got to
people
take it.
out like
Go ahead.
regulars of the channel. Yeah. You think you got power on the internet. Yeah. You're saying you're gonna knock people's teeth out. Well, come and do it in real life. Come
No,
on.
just yours. No, just
Entertainment. We'll
yours.
record it for the channel.
Just yours. Not anyone else's. Just
We'll
yours.
even have a laugh and a joke so it doesn't look illegal, and we'll post it on the channel. Come on, one
Bro,
to one, toe to
you
toe,
sound
man
about
for
as
man. I'll come to
scary.
you. I'll come to you, Stewie boy. Acting
You
hard,
come to me. How are
saying
you
you
going to get to
fucking
me? Are you
ordered
going to get? Are you going to
40
get
grams of
bust?
hash from
How are you going
fucking
to get to me?
America.
You're
You're
going to get
still
bust.
smoking that fucking draw from fucking
Pretty
20
sure.
years
Do you want
Yeah,
me
ago.
with
to?
that
Hey,
accent, you sound like you got a combine harvester, man.
yeah.
Where the
Do you want
fuck
me
are
to
you
pay
from?
for your bus ticket here? Do you want me to pay for your bus ticket?
You're
'Cause I
not
don't want you to
even.
spend all your
You're
gyro
not
coming
about that life.
coming to
Man's
see
gonna
me
You're
for
turn
the
up
bus
in the
ticket.
internet
combine
warrior. All
harvester
you
with
do is
that
time
accent, man.
people
Where
out.
Yeah,
you
You're
come
a
from,
on,
bro?
wacky
Alistair. Like I
boy.
said, mate, I live a life you wish you lived. I live a life
Well,
you
I'm not
wished you
talking to
lived.
you,
What you
I
Stu.
would
beat
come
This
and
you?
is
take
the
What
your
other
beating
girl
thing,
your
off
man.
you.
missus
That's what I
up?
would do, bro. I
All
would
right.
knock
Let me
on your
ask.
door and
Stranger.
take your
Let me
girl
ask.
off,
Okay.
mate.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
chill
We
out,
let.
man.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold
You
on. We
got a bit
let.
far. You got a bit
We
far there,
let.
man.
Listen. We
Kick
let.
him out.
We let Connor Capri talk for a minute, which is what Stu wanted. Now let me ask Ed Dante something. Ed, JumpTube in the chat brings up a good question. Is because when people say I'm gonna knock you out, is that a North or South UK thing, or is that even a UK thing? When
It
people say
sounds like
Thank
you
you.
turn up in
I
a
was going to
combine
ask the same
harvester. Let's put
thing.
it that way, man.
I was going to ask,
You
is
pull
it
up
what
in a combine
dialect is it?
harvester, man.
So where does that come from? Yeah, the people in England who say that, is that a certain
It sounds
dialect
like he's
in
from
a
the.
certain
It sounds
area?
like he's from the Midlands or North England, man. Somewhere like that. I don't know. Some shithole.
okay, wait a minute. What you can
Because
say that?
I've noticed that, like back in the 90s, the guys I think from like fucking like Birmingham would say "oi." Was it? They would always say
Yeah,
"oi," but the guys in
it's
England,
something
He's
like
got an
that.
alternate
Yeah.
account called Ben Askren from Dundee. Connor got destroyed bad. What the fuck are you talking about? Shoes a
Okay.
little batty boy. He says he's
Who
gonna
are,
knock
man?
my
Who
teeth
are?
out.
No, you sound like a fucking idiot, bro. You're
You're
a
timing
loser.
out
I
people
don't know you,
online.
but
Yeah, but why
I
didn't you
bet
come and
everything
meet
I've
me
got
toe to
you're a
toe?
fucking loser. You sound like
Let's
one
go to.
you come
All
across
right,
when you
if I'm
don't.
a
You're not
loser, then
scary,
why didn't you
bro.
come and
Trust
fill
me.
me in?
I've been around the block many years, and I know a scary man when
Prove it
I
then,
hear
man.
one, and you're
Okay.
not
Okay.
scary.
Bucho, help me out here.
I
Let's
bet
move
you
on.
are.
Let's move on.
You
Let's
are
move
a
on.
fucking gimp.
Okay.
Of
We
the
got it.
highest order. Trust
All right,
me
now
on
you
them.
fellas, I know it's Friday, but you guys got to stay away from each other, right? Connor and Stu, let's stay away
Let's
from each
take
other.
it to the
Let's
streets.
find.
Now,
All right, now
BDA,
we're not gonna. All right, Connor,
did
it's
knock
over.
my teeth
Connor,
out,
it's
yeah?
over. It's over. It's over. It's no, jeez. I'm gonna have to kick you out, Connor, if you keep talking. Now, in solidarity of England and the Queen and the Prince or King, whoever the fuck is who just died. Let's put up the British cuisine chart here. We've got steak and kidney pudding, black pudding. We got kippers, livers and onion, haggis, faggots, liver bread, and jellied eels. Stu, which one's your favorite from all those three that I'm sharing here on the screen?
Where's the baker's mash?
I'm just saying, man. Stu,
Yeah,
you
fish and
time
chips
people
tops
out
it.
all the time. You
Let's
think
go.
you got power because you're a fucking poncy moderator on you.
All right, that's he's out.
Oh my
I told him to
God.
stop. I told him to
Listen,
stop.
who's talking about power? I've never said I've got power. I'll tell you what I've got, though. I've got power over your bullshit in the chat, and I can gladly time you out if you want. I mean, that's the power I've got. I don't claim to be anyone. I don't go around comment on people's videos. I certainly don't come to your channel channel because you're a nobody to me. I don't
right,
give
he's
a
out,
fuck who
he's
you
out,
are.
he's
I never
out. I
will.
told him to
and
keep
look,
it.
you're the sort of person I could never be friendly with.
him.
You sound like a retard. And I'm not into mixing with retards.
I told him to stop it.
And a
I
low
told
life
him
as
to
well.
stop
And
it.
it's just,
Jeez, Luis, my goodness gracious. Look.
Look.
I told him to stop.
You got
I
what you
told
wanted.
him to
Come
stop.
on. You didn't impress. Everyone wants you to go
Stu,
away. You bored everyone to death.
Stu,
Let's move
I
on.
told him to
You
stop.
weren't going to do a
He
damn
didn't-
thing to me. You
geez,
know you
Luis.
weren't.
Is
So
it- can you guys
let's
hear me,
move
by the
on.
way? Is it just Stu being... Okay, Stu, I told him to stop. He didn't want to. I kicked him out. That's it. All right. Now, let's get back to the British cuisine here. Fuck, where is it? Anyway, fuck the British cuisine. I want to ask.
Forget it, man.
I want to bring this subject up.
Let's get back to boxing.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this subject up. The Teofimo Lopez kombucha. They had their press conference, and it went about as well a little bit like what we just had here between Stu and this Capri guy. Hold on, let me play you the audio here. At the end, Kombucha said that accused Teofimo Lopez of not being able to make 140, and Lopez proceeded to take his shirt off, and it got very homoerotic. Here it is.
I can't make 40. You guys can fight June 5th. June 5th, gentlemen. Get it off.
And then Kombucha, you can hear Kombucha. They're saying, "Take it off, take it off." So, what do you guys think? Are they trying too hard to hype this shit up, or?
Yes. If that was all like personal, which I don't know any history of them two having any personal like history with each other. So from my pointless 2 cents, my outside looking in perspective, I'd say they're just trying very aggressively to hype this up. I don't know if people like that kind of over the top aggressive type shit, then that's for them. But
listen, hang on a minute. Are you talking about me here?
No,
Cambosos and Teofimo Lopez.
Oh, sorry, man, because I thought we was talking about me and this guy. I thought that's what you was talking about because I just come in.
No.
No. Sorry.
As strong as a hash.
No, you're good.
Thank you, brother.
Fucking hash is pretty good, no.
Yeah, but okay.
Well, I think that don't do nothing for me. I can just tell you it does nothing for me, that type of bullshit, because about the fight. You're going to fucking fight in 2 days, man. Don't make asses of yourself. Have a little fucking class.
Jimmy.
We know Teofimo Lopez is an ass, dude. And I think that Cambosos literally believes that he's got a chance. They brought up the subject that he sparred, I don't know how many rounds, 500 with Manny Pacquiao. And he felt that power, so he in his mind thinks that he can take a guy like Teofimo, who thinks he's leagues above everybody else because he's beat Lomachenko, a small guy with skill. I know that, but we still need to see more from Teofimo. This is not that bad of a fight. They're Lopez, but it's all right.
Teofimo is going to knock his ass out within 6 to 8 rounds.
Anybody hear me?
No problem.
I can hear you.
What was all those red marks all over Teofimo's fucking body? That shit looked disgusting.
It's probably those.
How about
how his dad's training him with those like styrofoam things hitting him and stuff like that. At least not like Roy Jones' dad. It's not like Roy Jones.
It's like he had a sexually transmitted disease outbreak on his fucking body.
So I buy into that kind of stuff when two guys really don't like each other. When like Trinidad and Hopkins really didn't like each other going in. Then
but they usually smack each other, right, or push each other. Stripping. I'm talking about taking off the clothes, that type of shit. That's just silly.
Oh, I mean, you mean like Vargas and Floyd did back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, if you they push to each other's heads, like if they get their head to head, and they can, it's actually more menacing to me because where I'm from, dude, it's not the guy who yells and tries to get as much fucking bounces over there to stop the fight as physically possible. It's the dude who comes and whispers to you, dude, fuck, why don't you and me go outside? Let's do this. He's serious. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so when somebody's in your face and they just let you know, dude. So, you know what I mean? Like, that to me is real. That's theatrics. I don't need that in boxing. That's all. It's just me. That's my preference.
During the build-up to the Mayweather-Hatton fight, like you just said, Mayweather wasn't, like, trying to get 14 fucking 300-pound guys to try and pull him back from, getting at Hatton. He was like, I just kicked your promoter's ass. What the fuck are you going to do?
Well, can I say just one more thing? Can I just add one more thing to this, too? Now, think about this, guys. This has been the age-on thing. Are they trying to promote the fight? Is it bringing people who, listen, even guys like us who watch the fight usually don't watch the fucking weigh-ins. We'll catch it on Twitter. So anybody who's watching that weigh-in knows anything about that weigh-in is either, you know what I mean? It's just not something that's going to bring casuals. People who are going to watch that fight or watching that weigh-in were already going to watch the fight. That's all I'm saying. It just doesn't, That's just my thing. That hype thing in the fight used to work when you were on ABC News, and a newscaster would have the two fighters on a month before the fight when they're in the fucking, they used to do that shit all the time. And they would talk smack there. Yes, that shows bad blood. That would get maybe people interested, but not the day before at the weigh-in. That's just silly.
Because you lost all fucking chance to promote the fight if you're doing it the day before the actual fight.
Bingo.
Are you guys still talking about Lopez, or are you talking about Williams versus Andrade?
No, we're talking about Lopez.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I didn't see much thriller. Hey, listen, I didn't see where I live. Nothing, and I was looking out for it. I saw no advertising, and I still haven't seen any advertising for that fight on any
commercials.
They popped up on YouTube a couple of times, but that's it.
Yeah, I can actually vouch for that because me and him live in relatively the same area. I haven't seen any promotion for really any fight,
anything
other than that fucking shitty Jake
Why was
Paul Ben
Cambosa
Askren
wearing
fight.
heels? Why was he wearing platform heels?
Well, hold on. Let me check that out because you told me that in the super. Okay, he was wearing big ass sneakers. Yeah, you're right. Look at this. If you let me zoom in on that. If you guys look at the YouTube screen, you can see there's the Fight Hype thing logo there, but you can see he's wearing like basketball sneakers. He's got a good 3 inches of sole, or what do you call that? The padding there on the So that's why he seemed taller than Lopez. Yeah.
He's got skinny jeans on too.
Both of them, yeah, both of them. Well, Lopez not so much, but he didn't need to take his shirt off. That I'll tell you that much. Shout out to Truth Sons for his contribution. He says, "This is for the great online beefs, BDA, and the end of this Kali Yuga age. Stu is ready for war." Absolutely, Truth Sons. We can only hope that we're all reaching the age of enlightenment, where we're all going to reach the ultimate
no
harmony.
war with this guy. I mean, look, he's in the chat claiming victory. It's like one of them where it's embarrassing, isn't it? When a fighter puts his hand up after a bad defeat and like trying to convince people that he won the fight. This is what this guy's doing in the chat. You didn't make any sense. You sounded like a fucking idiot. And look, you didn't really sound like the sort of guy that I'd be worried about going to sleep tonight. I mean, look, let's be real. You're not going to turn up at my house. This is what I hate about people on the internet. Yeah, let's meet. No one's meeting on the internet. What sort of people? And if you did ever come to my house, it'd be the last journey you ever made, and I can assure you of that now. So look, stop with the nonsense. If you want to do a debate, we'll do it. We'll have it on air. I told you, I'm not into typing in the chat where you can hide. Get on here now, but this time bring something to the table. I mean,
all I heard, but he seemed like he was angry that you said you bought hash from the United States. I don't understand how that would have upset him.
All I know.
I mean, the guy sounded like a fucking idiot, man. What was his point? What did he have to say?
All I know is that
I don't care if he's going to come at me with something that I can say, yeah, fair play, man. You got me there. But he didn't say anything. He was just muttering and stuttering and mumbling and bumbling. I mean, what a fucking retard. That's
all
why
I know, man.
My question is why does he give a shit about your weed?
I think he wanted to get after.
Why
he said,
he give a shit about
you know why though? You know why? Because he said he wanted to go after Stu. Like Stu said, mistook him for the guy that was going after him, and then Connor said, "Well, if he's calling me out, I might as well go after him." And that's all that happened.
No,
that's all.
He was. I think it's because I timed him out last week. Innit? But he just sounds like I mean, it's a bit forced to me. He comes across a bit of a cornball, doesn't he? Like begging for attention. And
well,
just,
let me tell you this, man.
Come with some ammo. I mean, this guy's coming with a water pistol.
Listen, we were talking.
He's coming with a water pistol.
If you're talking about having to make things happen for hyping things up, we had that Lopez thing, and then I don't know if you guys saw the Andrade weigh-in, the Andrade Williams weigh-in, and they started jawing at each other. I don't know who. First of all, Andrade showed up. I don't know if you can see him here. Yeah, I think maybe you can see him here if you look at your YouTube screen. He showed up wearing a bulletproof vest, and he said, like, I think he had like the Pizzagate logo on the bulletproof vest. Like he had the triangle, the triangle with the squiggly lines in between. So I'm thinking, first of all, why is he wearing a bulletproof vest, and why is he wearing that triangle logo there? Then they faced each other, and they started talking smack, and Liam Williams touched Andrade's dreads, and Andrade got real pissed off and shoved him away. So, fellas, what do you think? Is this just weigh in, they're tired, they're dehydrated, and they're on the edge, or are they trying to hype this up? What do you guys think is going on?
They're a little, yeah, BD, they're a little chippy, they're a little edgy. Fucking, they were jawing yesterday at the press conference. They're a little chippy. That's all. Fucking run and get in. Yeah, I think the Zodiac Killer won one of them outfits, BDA. You know what I'm saying?
That was such a bitch push. Did you see the push that Andrade threw? It's so feminine. Go watch it.
He gave him like that little bitch slap to the chest, like
don't touch me. Get off me.
Really, somebody else did a bitch slap to the chest?
Yeah, he gave him like that little.
Yeah, give him like a little push, like a little shove. For that, shove him harder than that. Hey, don't fucking touch my hair.
Now, do you
touch my shit locks?
Do you think he shoved him back as soon as the guy touched his dreads because his dreads are like he knows the secret to his power lies in his hair, or is it just a respect thing? Like, don't touch any part of me. Like, what happened? What was happening there?
I guess, yeah, something like that.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying. The hair, I think.
Fucking.
Somebody said never touch a guy from New England's hair. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
What does Doodoo think he is? Fucking Travolta over here? Would you watch the hair? Would you watch the hair?
I work on my hair all day, and you smack me in my hair.
Well, let me tell you, man. When it comes to the Andrade thing, he's 33. He said after they were interviewing him, and he seemed pretty pissed off. And the interview says, "What can we expect tomorrow?" He said, "War," and he just walked away. Like the guy didn't even say we're finished. He just walked away on his own. So he seems to be pissed. Is this good for Williams that he's been able to get under his skin a little bit and got him in perhaps into a war tomorrow, or is this just the way they act all the time?
Well, yeah, no, obviously it would be if he actually brings him forward, because obviously Williams doesn't want him to be out in the back foot throwing from the outside all night. The only chance Williams has, really, right, is to land a looping shot to hit him. So, yeah, he wants to drag him into a fight, so let's see if he does it. But, I mean, Andrade isn't built like that anyways. You know what I mean? War. That's what he'll say, war! And then he'll be out there fucking dancing around in the 12th round as I'm fucking falling asleep with my iced tea spilling into my balls. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest.
What the hell, Jimmy?
Oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me you don't? Are you telling me you don't pour iced tea on your balls when you're awake? Because that's what I do, man, just for fun. Listen,
only when I'm in a good mood. No, but I'll have a glass in my hand on the couch watching him fight, and by the 7th round, I'm fucking nodding like I just did a dime bag.
By the way, can I say that?
When he starts getting the lead in the fights and he starts winning rounds, he still's gotta keep fighting to keep that lead, because he can never really overpower a guy to make a statement where the other guy's not out of the fight. The guy that he's facing is always in the fight. He's got to fight strong for 12 rounds to keep the other guy off him. And I hope Liam Williams keeps pressing him.
Jimmy, watching his fights is like getting a fucking 8-ball from Anthony Shea and them.
It's fucking, I mean, and he goes and he just talks that shit like he's gonna wreck people's world. It's almost as bad as Keith one-time Thurman. The fuck? Talks about how damn he's gonna, put people's lights out.
You should have seen the fucking rant my old man went on after that Thurman-Danny Garcia fight. He was like, so you're telling me they get the fucking they finally get a good fight on fucking free television, and these two fucking pussies run around the fucking ring? Oh, he was fucking pissed.
Well, dude, I'll never forget one thing. They booed in 5 out of 12 rounds. The fucking crowd at the Barclays were booing at the biggest welterweight fight they claimed since fucking Leonard Hearns. Remember, that was the big thing? Biggest welterweight fight since, and the motherfuckers were booing. That fight was a sloppy boo fest. They were missing each other left and right. Then nobody wanted to go into the pocket. Then Danny started chasing him around, but he's got fucking, his feet in concrete. He's a prodding hooker, and this Thurman fucking doesn't want to get cracked. Thurman, fucking joke.
Well, I want to ask you fellas something.
I felt like an asshole because I was telling him like the week or two before I was like, oh yeah, there's gonna be this great welterweight fight on fucking ABC or whatever the fuck it is, and then the next fucking Sunday morning, all my buddies are calling me up. They're like, Johnny, what the fuck were you telling me to watch over here? These fucking two momos running around. This is gonna be a great fight, and I'm like, yeah, fuck.
It's hard to root for somebody who makes you look bad to your dad.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Now I wanted to bring up a question here, fellas. Well, hold on, Virtuoso. I think you were trying to say something.
No. I was just agreeing with you guys. It's like it's hard to bring up fights, that that you think it's gonna be good on paper, but then it makes it look bad. That's why I really don't talk, boxing on Facebook, with my friends. I just keep it low to like a couple friends that know me, and it's like that's it. I have a small circle of friends that know boxing.
Sure.
But I'm glad I found you guys.
Yeah, well, you came to the service.
That's
a fragmented sport.
The Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. I was telling my grandfather, I was like, dude, this fight's gonna be insane. And then we watched it together, and we had more questions than answers.
Exactly.
Dude, I'm just the opposite. I was telling everybody would listen, don't order that fight. I didn't watch it. And I only seen parts of it. It was like 5 years later. Dude, I knew that thing was going to be up. Everybody going in, anybody close to fucking Pacquiao knew his shoulder was fucked up. So I said, okay, his shoulder's fucked up, and Mayweather is definitely not going to try to make that thing a fight. And he's going to have his referee, his gloves, his fucking springy ring. It's going to be it's going to be terrible. And listen, It even surpassed my expectations. So that's bad. People sued, dude. There was a fucking class action lawsuit of 20,000 complainants actually hired a lawyer to sue to get their money back. You know how bad you gotta fucking stink the place up to have motherfuckers try to get their C note back?
Jimmy, I must have had 50 fucking people in the house when that fight was going on. I had fucking 2 poker games going on 2 opposite sides of the house. And like some of my close buddies that I'm still friends with today that I grew up with and used to spar with and shit, they knew what to expect because they know Floyd's a pussy and he's gonna run around. They know what to expect. But my cousins are like, "The fuck, Johnny? You got me over here watching this bullshit. I should have kept playing poker the whole time."
And it was 6 fucking years since the last time. It was 6 years ago since the last time Pacquiao knocked anybody out. Think about it. You think after 6 years he's gonna finally catch a knockout? And it's gonna be Floyd Mayweather. Everything. It was a recipe for disaster. Sorry, brother. What's that?
Is boxing still feeling is boxing still feeling like the repercussions?
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely, dude. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Listen, the best #1 sports show in Boston. This is a sports crazy town. For the first time, was hyping that fucking fight up. They even flew to Vegas to cover it. I told you, they came home, and it was Felger, Mass. I know the boy here, the local dude will know. He said straight up, I will never, ever cover boxing again. They were so pissed. When they talked about it, they talked about it for maybe 3 days, and then I remember the last time, like, I'm never going to talk about that disaster. That gave the sport such a bad eye. That brought in that many, think about it, right? Well, how many 5 million pay-per-views? Do you know how many casuals they could have turned into crazy boxing fans? How many teenage kids that night said, that's why MMA is the best, because they see bloody fights. You know what I mean? And then they watch that fucking horror show, and the whole time they kept talking about the money these motherfuckers are making to make it that much worse, like to tell everybody go fuck yourself. I mean, please, it did such.
Jimmy, how much you think one of the ringside tickets were worth? Some of those $5,000.
People were paying 10 to 15,000 for the first 5 rows.
10 to
15,000 for the first 5 rows.
My uncle Scoots, he used to box a bit and shit too, and do the kickboxing. But he's like between me and my dad's age. He's like 50. My pops is like 7. And I'm like 30. He was like, what the fuck, Johnny? You interrupted my fucking poker game to drag me over here and watch this shit.
He should have smacked you, man.
Huge black eye for the sport. And people who are honest, like Steve Kim and other honest reporters, called it that night, and then they wrote about it later. That was a big miss. Not only a big missed opportunity to bring a new bedrock of fans, which the sport definitely needs an infusion of. it turned a lot of people who are just casuals at the time, like, I'm done. I'm never buying another pay-per-view. You know how many people walked away? You know how many people I know personally, they're just done with that fucking game, haven't watched, even attempt to watch the fight since then, 2015? Please.
Yeah, look,
that did so much harm to the sport.
The only fights that I would accept as being on pay-per-view would be Joshua Fury, because, that fight, they're not going to make it. I don't think they would make it on the Zone, right? That's going to be another hurdle. They're probably been negotiating, which is which network is that going to be on?
You know what? Because I heard that they're doing a 2-fight deal. I think one would be on DAZN and the other one would be on Top Rank.
Like on ESPN, right? But then you have in England, I think they would have to do Sky Sports, because I don't know if they're still they don't. Do they still, Stu? Do they show the British fights on DAZN over there, or do you have to go to Sky Sports for them? Oh, by the way, speaking of Stu, Jason Bornsky, shout out to him in the chat room, in the super chat. He says, "This is for insecure little man Stu, always deleting comments because they come after him for his boring commentary." Okay, you can call Stu all sorts of names, but boring is something you can't charge Stu of being. He's highly entertaining, man. Come on. What's this with him being?
Listen. This is how rent free I'm in this guy's head, right? This guy, right? He's been on my nuts. Let me finish, please. Let me just, because he's had his little say. Let me have mine, right? This is not just one little occasion with Jason Paul. This is years. This guy has some sort of weird obsession with this guy's like fucking Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction. I better watch my rabbit. It might disappear with this fucking guy born around. I mean, this guy, honestly, it's pretty weird. And the fact is, he has to pay. He pays to speak to me. This is how I've got to him, because he knows I won't really address him. So when he pays, I have to address him. So, because obviously he's been good enough to do a donation, and this is not about me. This is for the lads. This is their show. So I'm going to address him every time he pays, but I'm still getting him to pay to speak to me, and it worked. Everyone's happy. Butcher, BDA happy. They're getting paid for this fucking retard to say his little bit, and I'm happy because I'm just exposing Jason Bourne once again. I mean, just get off my nuts, because I don't think about you, Jason. You get up in the morning and think about me. I bet your missus wakes you up. She asks you who Stuart is. I bet you're talking in your sleep. Yeah, Stu, little in your sleep. I bet she's fucking hearing it. Who's Stuart? I bet she thinks you're having some homosexual affair or something. Get out of here, you fucking fuck.
Stu, recognize. Were we not just talking about this morning? Right? Where's Recognize at, bro? Recognize. Where you at, bro? Oh, we were just on Mark's stream like early this morning, bro. Like, what the fuck? The fucking Stu and Jason Bourne. It's the fucking Ali Frazier of YouTube. It's the the never-ending war. Oh my god!
I keep saying though, Stu, he's like the British national team. They've got rivalries with Germany, Argentina, France, and pretty soon there's gonna be another one. It's like, that's what Stu is. He's got rivalries with everybody.
But the thing is, like, the war's been over ages ago. I've already took Jason Bourne's land, took his queen. I've brought my own people. We're starting to colonise Jason Bourne's place, right? I've already won, but he keeps coming back with little militias here and there, and then I'll just send a drone out, get rid of him, and then he'll come back. It's just one of them where it's not really a war. It's just backstreet fighting. That's what Jason Bourne's up to. But look, he's paying for the privilege of getting his ass whooped. And I'll happily do it. He's paying.
I think we need a rematch, man.
It's like that ex that doesn't want you to date anybody else, but that won't take you back. You know?
No, you know what it is. That's not exactly what it is. Jason Bourne, look, real quick. Jason Bourne may have lost. Hold on. Jason Bourne might have lost the big war, but he's still there, man, in the city, sniping away, guerrilla warfare. Stu, you better mind your P's and Q's, because if you fall off one step, he's gonna get you, man, like the Viet Cong.
Oh, mate, look, he's so desperate to get to me, mate. He'll fucking tape up a vest, he will, mate, and suicide bomb himself if he gets near me. He's willing to sacrifice himself to get to me.
It's like fucking Enemy at the Gates for YouTube. Stu's fucking Jude Law, and the other kid's the fucking German guy. They're fucking
You're gonna see a lot. You're gonna see a lorry just run into like doing about 90 in it, and this fucking Jason Bourne strapped up with Semtex coming to the gate. Come on, man.
Hey, BDA.
Yeah.
Before I forget, because I have a tendency to forget, that's why I have to jump in there. But listen, my buddy's son, right? He's studying, I think, an anthropologist. Anyway, he's also a boxing fan. He actually wants to write his theses about how the difference of like boxing, how like, listen, boxing for years, what was it? It was always the common man, the blue collar dude. No matter what, you look through history, it's always been that way from when it started in the back streets of England to where it is today. So to have Mayweather make that biggest fight in history, all about his money, that was the fucking narrative coming in, going out. That's what they talk about now, his fans. When you say, well, great, his legacy was he made himself a lot of money. Like, and now this is a key thing. My buddy's son talks to us because obviously he knows, like, you know, Mickey and everything, and he talks about the difference. You go to YouTube and like that one big Mickey fight with Arturo, I think it had like 23 million views. But like when it was the Mayweather Floyd, like it had like 17,000. Nobody was watching the fucking thing. So that was the one that made $100 million. It's a working man's sport. It turned off so many people for so many reasons. Like boxers don't talk about, like, don't make that about the essence of the fight was your $100 million. You can lose money on cars and planes. It was just absurd, and it took everything away from what made the sport great. A working man can go in, you can relate with him, and he'd be in there banging his brains, and it was all hot. Like the thing about Mickey and Arturo, he was working full time, you know, on a paving crew where he was training for that fight. That fucking Mayweather has never been in a fight like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why so many people relate to him. And 100 years from now, who do you think they're going to be talking? Who'll be remembered? Just remember that.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
The thing about that, Jimmy, is like Mayweather never had those like really big fights. Well, like, yeah, on paper he did, but the actual fights were fucking marathons. Mickey,
yeah, it's his style. His styles isn't remembering. It's not a style. It's not fan friendly. It was back in the day when he would try to knock people out, and it was a fighter. I was even a fan then in the '90s, late '90s, early 2000s. But when it became TMT, fucking cherry picking, it's all about mercenary shit. Fuck you. Yeah, I had no use for that dude, and it wasn't fan friendly. Let's be honest. Most people I knew were buying those pay-per-views. They're hoping to watch him lose, and I'm like, that'll be the day that somebody fucking gets into my head that I'm dropping $100 to see him lose.
Well,
that should never happen ever again.
Before Mayweather fought Marquez, I think it was Max Kellerman that was like giving him shit about like, oh well, Manny Pacquiao just destroyed the same two opponents you fought before this upcoming fight in much more impressive style. Like, seriously, Floyd, what do you think is more impressive? A split decision and a 10th round knockout, or a 8th round knockout and a 2nd round knockout? Like, which really, that was probably one of the best points I've ever heard Max Kellerman bring up.
Well, listen, the big thing is
Pacquiao was so much better, and he waited him out. Oh, sorry, BJ.
Yeah, the big thing is that Mayweather created a style where he was fighting, and near the end of his career, he was pot-shotting guys, running around, pot-shotting, clinching, and that made a lot of these new guys, these young guys who looked up to him, think, hey, if I pot-shot and clinch, I can be a millionaire too. That's not how it works. Like, okay, you can make a good payday if you get a good promoter behind you, but if the fans are not going to clamor to watch you fight. In fact, they're going to probably root for you to lose, and they don't seem to get that. They seem to think, well, if Mayweather was making millions, how come I? No, that's not how it works. So that's Mayweather's legacy too, is that he created this new generation of one shot at a time type guys. The other thing is, when it comes to I wanted to ask you fellas too. We're talking about these new guys coming up. One thing that I've been adamant about is that I don't really want to talk about anymore. But I mean, on Fridays, you guys decide. You guys decide whatever you want to talk about. But for the other shows, I am not going to be talking about the lightweights or Crawford Spence. I'm done with those fights. I don't want to hear about them. Fury Joshua. I don't know if you guys saw the announcement that they're saying that it's probably Saudi Arabia. Those are the last reports coming out from today, that Saudi Arabia will likely be the place that they agreed on. So okay, we can talk about that, but Crawford Spence and the lightweights calling each other out, I think that's a dead subject, man.
Hey, BDA, what about Crawford and Spence? Any talks about that?
Fucking asshole.
I heard they're close. Yo, but I want to go back
Pretty
to
boring.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk about what Jimmy was saying. It's like Mayweather being on that mercenary shit. There was this rapper by the name, I recognize, a rapper by the name of, what's his name? It was this underground rapper, R.A. the Rugged Man.
I know that fucking dude is.
Yeah, exactly, from Queens. Yeah, he did a radio interview like from 2009, and he basically called out Mayweather's bullshit about fighting Marquez. It's like, yo, why don't you fight somebody your own size? And then Floyd got defensive about it because like, yo, well, you don't know the business of boxing.
Guess what? I make billions.
Yeah, I make billions. Yeah. When boxing fans always fall back on that shit about the way he makes money. Yeah, you're right. He knows how to market himself, but the way he fights, it's not fan friendly. Like I look at that Pacquiao and Mayweather fight, and it's like one was trying to brawl, and the other one was playing tag. When those styles don't mix, don't mix well. It's like oil and water, and so fans were booing, and that really, destroyed the trust of boxing fans, to these fighters,
And what about being a grown-ass man counting another dude's money? Like, is he paying your car payments, dude? Are you giving him reach-arounds? What's the fuck's up?
Oh, my God. Yeah, when he fought that little Japanese dude, I'm like, yo. Oh, but he came out with 35. Like, I don't give a shit how much he made. That fight was bullshit.
What?
Yeah,
the fucking
He's a smart businessman.
Tetsuya Nasukawa, he fought on a Risen card. It became the main event. But limited to throwing fist. A kickboxer.
Hey, dude, the great comparison. Mayweather makes $100+ million for what he did in that, ring against Pacquiao, and what Mickey made against Arturo in the first one. You could blow through with good hookers and fucking coke in one summer. Think about that.
Shit, motherfucker, dude, man, that boy's stupid, bro. Fucking, you come over here flossing like that shit, like Floyd be doing with all that jewelry and money on him. Shit, he's getting stuck, sonny. Stop it.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't. What he does is he walks around with bodyguards, and he'll never. I mean,
Mike Tyson makes fun of him about it.
Dude, he walks around with bodyguards on Fifth Avenue. Like he's not doing that shit in fucking the ghetto.
Not just Fifth Avenue. Like Mike Tyson said to him in an interview when Mike Tyson said, "Well, I don't know how you could be the fucking people's champion," because he was calling himself the people's. He goes, "I don't know how you can be the people's champion if you need bodyguards to walk your children to school." When he walks his kids to school, because they both live in Vegas, so he would see him. He's like walking down the street with these fucking 6'6" bodyguards, who I've heard by multiple sources treats like absolute dog shit. Treats his bodyguards like something he steps in. Well, and he makes a point to always embarrass them when he's on camera.
Mayweather has little man syndrome. So, big he naturally hates guys that are big and shit,
Well, I guess he has one, that big black bald dude he likes. But the other guys are always like they're from a service and they come and go. And so, he likes to fucking clown him and treat him like shit.
Recognize, what's Fifth Avenue? Is that like Lakeshore Drive or some shit?
Think of Chicago's beautiful area. It's
Lakeshore Drive.
That's
exactly.
what he does. He walks through Fifth
Avenue. Drive in LA.
And he's like,
exactly.
He's like, yo, look at me.
Who are we talking about?
Champ. I'm the people's champ.
Who
I'm
are we
walking
talking
through Fifth Avenue.
about?
So my little
it's not like you're in Gary or Detroit or something. You
He'll be talking like that soon.
Who are we talking about?
Mayweather. We're talking about Mayweather. We're talking about Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr.
I don't got to fight when I say fight. I move when I want to move. I'll move when I want to move. Fuck out of here.
The thing I disliked about Mayweather was when he brought his female tendencies to the press conference and that, but because he always talked about how he was closer to his mother than to his father, so that right there lets you know that there's something suspect. And then when he got supposedly bit by Maidana in the second fight, remember the scream he let out? He looked like he was like moaning like a bitch in heat, and I'm thinking, all right, there's something.
Sounded like that fat dude in that
BDA. He did that in both fights. It actually made the news in the second second fight. He claimed it in the first fight, and I forget the referee, that skinny guy that always favors the boxer that holds. Didn't do anything about it. Tony Weeks didn't do anything about it. I'm sorry, the skinny guy actually deducted the point in the second one.
Wait a minute, doesn't he always have the same referee? Doesn't he always have that same referee who did Wilder? He did Wilder.
Kenny Bayless.
Wilder Ortiz. Yeah, Kenny doesn't he have? Yeah, he has Kenny Bayless, isn't he? I think
Jimmy. He brought
So,
Kenny Bayless to
anyways.
Japan.
Yeah,
He actually had Kenny Bayless in Japan. Can you believe that?
Kenny Bayless is on his fucking on his speed dial. Hey,
Oh my dude, just watch any of his fights. Kenny Bayless fucking refs. I mean, dude, it's so obvious. Like, I'm surprised. Like the commission didn't say anything. But listen, Floyd was such a big moneymaker for Vegas. He could do what he wanted. Why do you think? Think about this. No matter what, I don't care. People come at me what he did this, and I always say, and they can never say that. I always say one of the best performances, two best performances I've ever seen and one was by him. But anyways, think about this. Knowing what I know about steroids and all that other shit, and I'll tell you right now, I would give all of them up if I was getting ready for a fight, if I was allowed instead to use an IV the night before a fight. That is so outrageous because that's when you dehydrate. Listen, when you go on that scale and you're next to death because you made weight, it's a tricky thing because if you eat too much, say you go home and you start picking down on fucking you can overfill, make yourself sick. It ends up blocking your receptors. You end up getting water between your skin and muscle. And anyways, your legs feel heavy. So it's kind of a tricky thing to rehydrate in a smart way. But no, it blows that all out of the water, sticking your arm out and fucking having an IV bag put in your vein. That is,
but Jimmy,
and
go
he got
look
caught
at, go
with
look
that,
at,
dude, the night before Pacquiao.
Watch the weigh-in. Watch the weigh-in between Pacquiao Mayweather. If you look at Mayweather, he wasn't dehydrated. He was glowing. Everything was muscle.
Well, I'm sure that wasn't his only fucking bag. It wasn't like I'm sure he had just one. He probably had a bunch in the refrigerator.
He also did that to put on weight, put on enough weight.
Of course, that's what weight is. It's the water. It's the muscles. You just absorb it like a sponge.
Pacquiao did. Pacquiao gave his weigh in, and he didn't. And he said that he weighed 149. Pacquiao was 152. No way that he weighed 149 pounds in the ring.
It's like catching a dude with the residue at the end of the bag and him telling you, "Oh no, this was my first time." Fuck out.
Yeah.
Remember, by the way, can I just say something?
Listen, that is. I can't even. I can't begin even to tell you, anyways, how much of an advantage that gave any fighter if they could do an IV. He should have been. That fight should have been called right there. But again, the reason why it wasn't, if you walked to the old MGM, not the old, but when he was still champion, you walked in there, it looked like Floyd's hotel. Floyd Mayweather, his name up in fucking lights. And I'll tell you, he caused a huge stink when they took it down. He had not fought like a year, and they finally said enough. And I guess he went in there and freaked out. But anyways, that's another thing.
Hey, by the way, can I say something real quick?
Weigh in a little bit on this one for a second.
They heard
BDA show.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
So everybody's read the Thomas Hauser stuff, but a lot of people, most people that we have, but like the extras that don't do that that are listening to the show, let's put a little extra in on this. They didn't even report the IV until 9 days after the fight. USADA to the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission didn't even acknowledge it until a month after the fight. That fight should be considered no contest, straight up.
You guys
you're allowed to have certain 200 milliliters in a day. He had 750. He had 3 days worth in one sitting.
I don't know. Let me tell you something. Your facts sound like hate to me. That's what they sound like. Facts equals hate.
Of course, because I'm a white guy from Georgia that's a Christian male. We already know this. I've accepted that label from you guys a long time ago. But I mean,
you're jealous of Floyd Mayweather. Y'all jealous.
Hey, by the way, can I just say something real quick? I got a couple of announcements here to make. Number one, as you all know,
black man.
As you all know, Gonzalo's kid is in the hospital. He's been in there fighting for about some sort of infection, couple of infections actually for a while now. So Gonzalo has set up a GoFundMe page that money goes directly to him. It's not going to us and then to him where the shenanigans can brew. No, it's going all up to him. So I'm gonna put up the link here. on the Discord. Forget about giving us super chats. The most important thing, you should direct. If you get a couple of shekels, you can send. Every bit helps. Send it over there. That there's a GoFundMe. Okay, Bucho's already posting it as well. And we're gonna probably put it in the Bucho. Can you put it on the description to the video? And then we're gonna stream tomorrow, where we might we're gonna stream after the Liam Williams versus Andrade fight, and probably be interviewing Chris Bird tomorrow. Probably if everything works out. So we will be continuing to post that GoFundMe page there. It's for a good cause, and it goes directly to Gonzalo. So there's no shenanigans afoot if that's what you're worried about. So. Go ahead and do it, fellas. If you get the chance, if you get a couple of shekels lying around, every little bit helps. So be sure to do that.
Gonzalo, I just put it in my Discord. I'm going to put it on my community page too, brother.
Appreciate it, Johnny boy. Appreciate it, man. So yeah, if you get a couple of shekels, forget the super chat. Send it there.
I was going to say I'm a 100% service connected veteran, but my insurance is not covering my child overseas. And my kid, he's got the infection along with that fungal infection. The fungal infection went away. The pneumonia was subsiding, but it just came back. He's been there for over 50 days now with the tube lodged down his throat. And it's like a hospital infection where, sometimes you get an infection while he was trying to treat himself for that, but now it's coming back. And
did he get staph, John?
No, it's just the pneumonia. But anyways, no, yeah, he's still there, and it's just what it is, man. It's just what's going on with me.
Can we give money right now? Can I give money right now? Can I go to that page right now and send some money?
Can go whenever you want.
I set up a GoFundMe, and I have some of my veteran people that are helping me.
Yeah, it's Jimmy.
I've been paying out of pocket for all the medication. I spent like $8,000 already, and I'm getting like a real big ass bill. And I can. The thing is, if I don't have the money to pay, I didn't want to go down this route. But
Gonzalo, don't even. You owe no apologies. You owe no explanations. You're our brother, and fucking don't. You know what I mean? Enough. It's your son.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Exactly.
So let's help him out. Let's help him out.
Yeah. Of course, buddy. I got you. I just shared it around.
I'm doing it right now too, Gonzalo.
All right,
appreciate it, fellas. And like Gonzalo, I said, we'll be keeping, we'll keep pumping that up throughout the streams here. And by the way, speaking of streams, how about this? Not a stream, a scream.
Back from Mayweather. It was illegal shots. Referee hadn't called break.
Did you guys hear that?
It was illegal shots. Mayweather. Back from Mayweather. It was illegal shots. Back from Mayweather. It was illegal shots.
The fuck is that scream?
That was Floyd?
Yeah, that's Floyd screaming when he supposedly got bit through a fucking 8-ounce glove or 10-ounce glove, whatever. No, yeah.
So an 8-ounce glove and a guy with a mouthpiece actually bit you to where you couldn't feel your fingers anymore. From a guy who has known hand problems and constantly talks about how he has to have treatment after each fight. And you're trying to tell me that the bite is what caused the numbness. Okay, yeah.
That's what he said, right?
Well,
he said it with a scream.
Mayweather's hand?
Was that?
Was fucking Maidana's, mouth even near Floyd's hand?
I don't know,
Floyd was raking his glove across his face at the time, and so he allegedly bit him in response.
It was illegal shots.
I mean, what type of scream is that, man?
I mean, for the record, he was fouling him by rubbing his the open part of his glove in Maidana's face, and the referee wasn't doing anything about it. So, if Maidana did bite him in self-defense, it is protect yourself at all times. At least that's what he said when he sucker punched Victor Ortiz twice.
Yeah, I remember.
Victor Ortiz should have been paying attention. Like they said, protect yourself at all times. You shouldn't be fucking hugging your opponent. This is war.
Trying to kiss him, trying to deep talk.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be rubbing your glove in the guy's face either. So he got what he deserved on that one.
Yeah, I know that. But still, that's on him for getting knocked out.
On Ortiz, yeah, but
yeah. I still say those were legal shots, but it was still a sucker punch.
The other thing I hate about Mayweather in the Maidana fights. Go ahead, Richoso. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. It's like I'll say this just to be fair. It was legal but sneaky.
Yeah, I think that's what Jay's getting to. Yeah.
For that.
By the way, the other thing I hate
it
about
was
Mayweather,
legal, but it was low rent.
Yeah, that's the thing. The other thing I hate about Mayweather was when he in the Maidana fights is when he started every time because he was okay in the second one. I understand if he wanted to stick and move, but then every time he would clinch with Maidana and Maidana would punch him in the clinch, Mayweather would look at the ref. It's like do something. It's like, you're the one that's clinching, man. It was just a horrible 2 nights of boxing. I mean, the first one was a little bit more entertaining because Mayweather actually moved less. But the second one was just awful, man. I mean, he's a hell of a fighter, don't get me wrong, but just a boring fighter all around after.
I've talked to Recognize about the rematch. Isn't it funny how they only sold 25,000 more fights, yet Maidana's purse was doubled and he fought less aggressive. Just saying.
Well, I don't know, man. This
Because he
conspiracy.
made money on that first fight, dude. He became a rich man in a country where you don't need a lot of money. And you can just tell by how he blew up the minute he stopped fighting. He was living large, smoking cigars and eating well. And it happens to a lot of them. It's hard to become a tough guy when you're sleeping on silk sheets.
Oh, would you stop saying that? That Marvin Hagler said that, but he didn't know what he was talking about, man. Now, let me say this. With Mayweather, man, okay, look, I mean, good legacy. It's either him or Pacquiao for the best of the generation. But if you want to say that Pacquiao is the best of his generation, I don't think you can just base your argument against that by saying, well, Mayweather beat him when they fought one-on-one. Because did he really beat him? And did he really beat him?
But yeah, and you don't judge a fucking career by one fight. You judge it in a whole trajectory, right? The whole career. And Mayweather doesn't even come close. Pacquiao trounces his career. Give me a break.
Can I jump in on that one? Let's look at this.
Fire away, bro.
Ray Leonard beat Duran twice, right? And so after that head-to-head fight for a while, Ray Leonard was starting to be ahead. Who they're starting to rank ahead when they're ranking the fighters now? Duran's starting to pull ahead of him. Chavez Whitaker. Everyone was having Whitaker over him forever for this. You look at the ratings now when people are starting to rate the body of the career, Chavez is starting to rank ahead of Whitaker in some of these things. Time will tell what's going to happen with Mayweather and Pacquiao, but based off of what we're saying, and we're the unpaid, unofficial experts, he's starting to creep over it, and people will start to see through it. That's my opinion.
Well, and the fact his last professional fight, his 50th win, which always bothers me that it was always Rocky Marciano they targeted. How many fucking pro fighters had 50 and better wins? But think about the fact that he's in that twice. Exactly.
Wow,
the reason why they went.
He had to throw Rocky Marciano's name in there to make it interesting.
Bro,
it doesn't even make sense. The guy's a heavyweight. The guy was a heavyweight, and that's the heavyweight record. Has nothing to do with some little tiny, girly man that that nitpicked his fucking way to 40 to 50 and 0.
Well, there's a reason all the other guys who did that, all the other guys who did 50 and 0 weren't white.
Jimmy, real quickly, look, bro, listen. Sugar Ray Robinson went 40 and 0, lost one fight to Jake LaMotta, avenged it 3 weeks later, and then won another 93 straight fights, bro.
3 weeks later. Think about that, guys. The fucking injuries aren't even remotely healed yet.
Fucking, there was 1 year he went almost 100. He had like a record of like 100 and something with one loss.
Yeah.
That was his record. 130 something with one loss after he lost his one fight. The one fight.
There's a meme of Harry Greb where he's sitting there looking at the camera and it says 47 and 0, huh? I did that in 1921.
Watch. They were replaying like fucking Carmen Basilio and Ray Robinson a couple of months back. I came back to the house and my pops was watching it in the basement. He's like, "Hey Johnny, come here." He's like, "Look at that fucking record," and it was like 137 and 4. Just for
the record, I don't think I've ever said it before, but my favorite, my opinion, the greatest all-around fighter, for my opinion, is Sugar Ray Robinson. I got him rated number 1.
Me too, Jimmy. Yeah, I agree.
Don't fucking.
I do Henry Armstrong, and I tell you why. He fought in an era where they didn't manage you the same way, to where you had to fight when you were injured and you had to fight through injuries, and you weren't able to take the time off or give you a soft touch to get back in. No disrespect to Robinson. I'm not saying that that's necessarily what happened with him. But when they started protecting fighters and managing them well, he didn't have that. And if he didn't fight, he didn't eat. And he wasn't backed by anyone. So some of his losses he had early were just to put food on the table. And the
even Sugar Ray Robinson didn't make a lot of money, dude. People forget he retired for 5 years to become a professional dancer in Hollywood, and then he went back to fighting.
Yep,
that's crazy. That's why I always say, dancers. If you show me a kid who can dance good, I'll make a boxer out of him, because it's all about rhythm. You have and Sugar Ray Robinson, you say it all the time. Why are you so good? Because I can dance. And basically, meant he had rhythm.
I don't dispute anyone that puts him as number one at all. It's just my personal opinion is Henry Armstrong. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I know. That's a good opinion. No, and you can make a fucking case for that, no doubt. I wasn't trying. I hope I didn't sound like I was trying to fucking one up you with something.
Jimmy,
no, I was just throwing in.
Even if you were Jimmy, we're straight, and I know that you have your opinion.
No, I know, but I wouldn't do that. I was just saying, part of his accomplishment. I wasn't trying to denounce what Henry Armstrong did. He fought into a lot of things that the guys later didn't deal with. Real racism, unlike what the LDBC calls as racism now. Eddie Hearn is a slave master. He's paying fucking guys millions and millions of dollars.
Oh, better yet, Bob Arum,
$30 million. Yeah.
Better yet, Bob Arum, the slave master who made a millionaire of George Foreman, Tommy Hearns, Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler.
La Hoya.
Yeah,
a black dude was funny as a motherfucker. Black dude on Twitter, so he could get away with saying it. And when he one of those tweets calling Arum a slave master, he goes, "I don't know if you know too much about your history," and he he's called him an NIGG like they do each other. But I'd take a fucking $20 million over a bullwhip across my back, you stupid fuck. But the way he went in, it was funny as fuck.
This was another
dude just trounced him.
Jimmy, this was another black dude saying it?
That was what's made it great. It was another black dude. It was a comedian. So the guy had a lot of followers too, so it got a shit ton of retweets. It was kind of a nobody who was tweeting it, but this guy trounced him. It was a few years ago when he said that. I don't know if you know much about your own history, NIGG, but I'll take a bullwhip. I mean, I'll take, $10 million over a bullwhip any day. And he said, if that's an option, but whatever he worded, it was funny as fuck. He made the kid sound like a fucking idiot that he was. To even make that comment, you got to be an idiot.
So when I was used to go over to Boxing 24 before I discovered this channel, and I'd get involved with some of the talking over there. One person tried to debate me on George Foreman and Bob Arum promoting him. He says he pulls out the whole, George Foreman made all his money off the grill, and I went down each payday he had with Bob Arum as a promoter, and we came around with about $65 million. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, Bob didn't help him at all.
And his argument was he made his most money off the grill. Yes, he did. He made a shit ton of money off that as a business investment. What the fuck does that have to do with how much money he made? I mean, nobody else was paying. Listen, Bob paid his guys good. He pays Crawford good. That's why Crawford's not tripping over himself to go sign with the PBC. He knows what Spence is getting. And he has to fight pay-per-views, because if he wasn't fighting pay-per-views, the most he can get is 1.7. He's going to get if it's not a pay-per-view, because that's his guaranteed salary, and there's no other extra cash there.
The fucking what's it called? Yeah, bro. It's like, remember 3-4 years back or whatever the fuck it was when all these, I don't want to start naming all these names, but like these fucking egos and these other dudes. Remember when they were all happy and fucking doing cheerleading routines and shit when HBO got out of the sport?
Yeah. Oh yeah, so, exactly.
Like how fucking calling them slave man and all this. Bro, how fucking stupid are you? At least with HBO, it was, for the most part, it was one consolidated network, bro.
Listen, HBO did more for boxing. HBO saved boxing, dude. You kidding me? Boxing was, because a couple of mafia-related things in the 70s revolved around the mob and fucking boxing. It took a bad black eye. It was really bad in the 70s. So anyways, HBO came along and they saved that shit. They're the ones who started putting fights on in Boston, world championship fights, because HBO paid for it. listen, I've said it. Me and Steve have talked about it on the side. Like that caused HBO going out is as bad as what Mayweather. Listen, we're still feeling repercussions of HBO getting out because
That
now it's so
USA.
tribalized.
Exactly, Jimmy.
USA
Exactly.
Tuesday Night Fights is the other one because what would we be talking? We've never really mentioned him on the show, but you guys remember Charles Brewer? We wouldn't even be able to talk about him if it weren't for USA Tuesday Night Fights because HBO wouldn't pick him up. Nobody else would. He had title fights on that. He was defending his title on Tuesday night, and people would just flock to that. They go to the Blue Horizon, and it would just be a packed crowd of loud people, beer drinking guys wanting to see a good fight, and they gave it to us. And then look how many people launched off of that. If you go down the who's who that fought on USA Tuesday Night Fights, it's 20 years of world champions that raced through that network during that time.
Well, now with we got these applications, hopefully they'll step up to the plate and start doing. I mean, the Zone, ESPN, Showtime to a certain degree now. At least they're showing some of these fights because last year was just abysmal for them. But hopefully, look, like the Zone and ESPN, hopefully they step up. Now we got Triller. Who knows what's going to happen with them? Although they are spending quite a bit of money, so it seems like they're. I don't know what's going to happen, but there seem to be more outlets now coming up, so it's going to be good. On that note, fellas, we do have to go. But if you want more boxing, by the way, I think Mark, is he still doing his fucking 24? I think he's doing a 6-day stream.
Yeah, he's over there.
Okay, so
over there. I was just over there. I was just over there before I came over here. I was like, let me see what's going on with these guys real quick. And they ain't going to be on for 25 hours, so let me...
He's doing a 24-hour in a row show? He's going to stay up for 24 hours talking boxing?
No,
well, I'm assuming he's going to...
try and do it.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to...
do
it for 5 days.
Did any of you guys know anything about a boxer name? I know you want to get off BDA, but real quick, a boxer named Sonny Edwards from England.
Who?
I know who he is, Jimmy.
Sonny Edwards from England, a super flyweight.
I know who he is. Yeah, Jimmy.
Well, he said some horrible shit on Twitter about Cameron's wife. Just put it out there. I couldn't believe it. Cameron, the kid used to call on the show all the time. Just to let you know, like, what type of dude that is.
Sonny, wait. Is this guy's name Sonny Edwards, like Sonny as in son? Like son, the
SUNNY, Sonny. Right. Yep, Sonny Edwards.
BDA, it's Charlie Edwards' brother.
Who's Charlie Edwards again? Oh, okay, yeah. But why?
Charlie Edward got knocked out by Jean-Riel Casimero. He got knocked out by fucking Julio Cesar Martinez. I think he won a belt off of him. You know him if you.
But
see
why?
him.
Yeah. But why are they? Because I don't know what happened.
Well,
so I can't.
I guess Cameron said something like it wasn't even that like harsh. Just basically questioned. I think one of his performances. And this kid went right at him. Listen, what Cameron did is he has his picture as his avatar. It's his wife and his newborn. Obviously, a woman, right after having a baby, is going to have some baby weight. But he loves his woman and his child, and you wouldn't think that people would. And this kid went after her about her weight. And like, I didn't get the chance to say anything because I just was so angry. I didn't want to say anything on Twitter because I didn't want to get kicked off. But like, I really wanted to rip into this fucking. I'm still going to say something, but yeah, no, he went after Cameron's. Called his wife like Miss Piggy and shit. Like, this is a professional fighter with a blue check mark.
But hold on. What did Cameron?
The only person out of the whole group that I recognize, his name is Cameron. I don't know who the fuck any of the other guys even are.
All right. First of all,
yeah, Sonny Edwards. I only know about it because I saw it in my timeline. Somebody sent it to me in a DM. Said, "Did you see this shit?"
Twitter
so you can go to his Twitter timeline and you can follow it. And I couldn't find anywhere in his timeline where Cameron said anything that deserved this kid's response. He just, maybe they have a history, but he came at him hard and vicious. And for a professional fighter to do that, like, although Cameron is considered somewhat press, I guess, out there, I guess the fighters know of him, but still, that's some brutal shit to say that about a man's wife. That should get you fucking dealt with where I'm coming from, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Woof.
I was just going to say, bring him and his brother over. He'll slap the fuck out of both of them.
Oh, dude, he's got the fucking physique of a prepubescent boy. He's a 112-pound fighter. Recognize take shits that big.
Yeah, I fucking break that dude's eardrum with a slap. Fuck out of here.
Well, listen,
I just wanted to throw that out there, dude. I know you got to get going. I just wanted to let you know in case any of you guys want to check it out.
I want to hear both sides. of the story. Not saying that I disbelieve you, JMA, but I want to see what Cameron said, because maybe you got thick skin. Maybe what he said didn't mean anything, but maybe for this guy, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I don't know. I want to hear both sides here.
No, I know. No, if you find something, I'm curious.
The only thing that I saw, yeah, the only thing that I saw on Facebook, because Cameron's my friend. Here he posted something that Sonny Edwards said, mystery solved, because somebody was criticizing Sonny Edwards that he didn't deserve a title opportunity. That's what Cameron said, and then the guy
that's right.
posted something that said mystery solved. That's all I saw. But anyways, hey, thanks guys for considering me and the fundraiser. Appreciate it. Thank you, BDA.
No problem.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
No
yeah,
problem,
brother. I see people are already donating.
Post. I sent you something, brother.
Yeah,
Yo,
I'm
real quick.
that.
I thought Cameron called him like an anorexic, because I just saw his profile picture on Twitter. That dude looked like a shrunken head.
Now, is that what's...
but like Gonzalo just said, I'm really telling you, dude. From what I saw, it was nothing to warrant that kind of response.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, that's a vicious thing to say about a dude's wife, and especially you just said you didn't deserve a title.
Yeah, keep it boxing. You know, keep family out of it, for real.
All right.
Out of pocket.
Well, we'll see.
Cameron does seem to rub people the wrong way, because if he had a bunch of other people jump in there and saying, "Well, you know how he is," so I have to say that, man, Cameron might be rubbing some dudes out there in England the wrong way a bit, but.
Whenever you're robbing dudes, that's always a problem, man. But hey, to each his own. No, but listen, I'm trying to look out here on Twitter, see what's going on, but Twitter's not working for some reason. I'll have to check later. I'm not a big Twitter fan. Also, we had somebody complaining about, the last episode we did. We've had one of the guys who called in was complaining to Bucho about how you guys jumped me. Well, look, if you want to talk one-on-one, specify who you want to talk to. Otherwise, we're assuming you're talking to everybody, and everybody's just going to jump in. So you can't expect these guys to stay back and not say anything if you're not addressing somebody specific. That's all I'm saying. So for the future, if you don't want to get into that type of mess, specify who you're talking to or who you're talking about, and that way it will get worked out. Otherwise, this whole gangbanging thing, that's the way it's going to turn out, if that's the way you see it. Anyway, listen, fellas, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Another free open forum here over at BDA Boxing, over the BDA Lounge. Let me just put the picture here. See, there you see it, the BDA Lounge, nice and classy.
Another one for the record books.
Another one for the...
Dude, it's actually more peaceful. It's actually more controlled. I would have thought tonight would have been a zoo. Like everybody just, all these dudes, talking over each other. It was actually pretty damn good, man. Congrats to everybody on that one.
We're trying. And shout out to everybody who donated already to Gonzalo's home GoFundMe. That's really classy of you fellas. Yeah. Like I said, we don't help. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Like I said, we don't need the super chats here. Every little bit you've got, give it to Gonzalo. He can scrunch it up. So shout out to you fellas. Really appreciate it. I'm not gonna play the hero song, but I might as well one of these days. Maybe tomorrow. The BDA custom hero song. Now let me tell you something, fellas. Really appreciate having you on here. Had a good time. Like I said, if you want to have more boxing talk or just more talk, head on over to Mark's channel on Rival Boxing Talk. I might jump in there like in maybe half an hour. Gotta get something to eat. And that's about it, fellas. Thank you. Oh, listen. If you come,
a shih tzu and a shave. A shih tzu and a shit.
No, wait a minute.
No, what's that when they hit you with the branches? The Japanese, to relax, they get hit with wet, hot branches.
Oh, jeez, Louise. Hey, by the way,
what do they call it?
If we do a second Renaissance, Triple JJJ says second Renaissance. Yeah, if we ever do, we're gonna do another one of these days. Again, we're doing them pretty regular now, or we're trying to. But you guys, if you jump on the panel, try to bring some, or even the chat room, bring something that's interesting. Bring like when I say bring something interesting, something that we can talk about, like some weird, crazy article. Like John Gonzalez gave me that article about that. That story, that guy, that teacher that ended up getting into a shootout with cartel people. So that's the type of shit we need on Second Renaissance. It's the type of shit we need on Second Renaissance. So bring everything you've got. That's what I'm saying here. Other than that, I guess that's it for today, fellas. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to everybody that donated the super chat. I can't go back for some reason to see who donated, but you guys know who you are. Thank you, everybody. Peace out, and we'll catch you on the next one, folks. Let me play the BDA song here. And we'll catch you on the next one. All right, fellas? Take it easy. Another good Open Phone Lines Friday.